everyone, and welcome back to the Walkng Dead series by the very end. I'm your host, Nicole.
I'm Gary.
And today we are here to talk about the Walkng Dead, our top fives. This is going to be our top five episodes, our top 5 seasons, deaths, and villains. But before we get into it, hopefully you guys did listen to our last episode on the series finale of the Walkng Dead. However, before we go ahead and get started into our top 5, Gary, let's go ahead and discuss a letter here that came in a little after we pod last week, which is from Raw. So thanks for writing in, Raw. We appreciate it.
Hey, what's up, Raw? Thanks for writing in.
This looks like a long one, but I think it's going to be a good one. So let's go at it in gaps here. Or sections, should I say. It says, thank you, Gary and Nicole, for all the entertaining coverage of my favorite show of all time. These podcasts let me enjoy the episodes in a new way, like it was the first time again. Rick and Morgan quote. Oh, that is a Rick and Morgan quote. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Chantel, with an S. She didn't know you wrote Chantel with a C, because I saw that when he wrote his last email, but he's like, Chantel with an S. For all the great insight on the episodes, you make me think and see things that I didn't catch before or forget about. It was also nice meeting you, Tiff. Yes, great ladies here. And everyone, anytime people write in, they've always given us feedback. We're like, oh, we didn't even think of that, or we didn't say that. And hopefully we do have a few people that wrote in. I believe Tiffany and Chantel both wrote in on their top 5s. So hopefully they'll include some that we didn't think of. And then he goes, The Walking Dead has changed the zombie genre forever. When you think of zombies, you think of The Walking Dead. You think of Rick, Michonne, Daryl, Carol, Maggie, King, Governor, Ezekiel, Carol, Rosita, Negan, and a bat named Lucille. And can't forget the co-stars of the show, zombies, aka sickos, biters, roamers, geeks, lurkers, rotters. The infected, guardians, and last but not least, walkers. Wow, you remember all the different names they called them. And Greg Nicotero in the special effects department did a wonderful job on all the walkers this episode. All the walkers looked really gnarly.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I mean, they've always done a good job on the walkers.
Yeah.
They, some seasons we saw, remember when we first saw walkers like in the sewers and they were, ugh, and gross, and then bloated walkers and burned walkers, so many.
Yeah, the toxic.
Yeah, the toxic walkers, yep. Okay, he's going to point out the most important scenes. Forgive me if it's too much. Nope. Judith wasn't fearing nothing. Shot and all, she shot up and fought back some walkers trying to make their way in. She was like, "You ain't killing the big ass kicker on my watch." Yeah. She made sure she got up, realized she was in a hospital or wherever she was at, and made sure to keep her and Daryl safe.
Yeah, Judith is always on go.
Yeah, when we were watching and getting our notes and like watching so many different clips and information for this episode, we realized, like, wow, Judith saved so many people. She's helped so many people.
Yeah, she found half of our crew.
Yeah, half of the crew. And he goes, when Jules got bitten and Luke tried to help, did y'all see how a walker threw him to the ground? That was new. No. And then he says, all these walkers...
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
I didn't catch it either. All these walkers need to do now is pick up a gun and shoot. I mean, damn, that's where they're headed, I feel.
Yeah. That's the fear walkers.
Yeah. We retweeted the other day, I think Dead City is the new season or the new series with Maggie and Negan. And those walkers, Walkng Dead, I've always said it. They do a really good job with their trailers. They pull you in. So hopefully it's as good as what the trailer looks, because they look badass there. So, and who knows, maybe they will be getting a gun and shooting. If they get a gun and shoot on the Walking Dead, I don't know. I don't know what I would think. I don't know if I think I would be cool, or it's like, okay, y'all gone too far.
That's going too far.
Yeah.
But then again, why not?
Yeah, might as well. They're a zombie show. If you can believe that they're zombies, then you can believe that they can do all the other shit.
Yep.
I mean, they already picked up a knife. What's to stop them from picking up a crossbow and letting them fly? That's true, but we didn't even see them use that knife, so we never saw it, right?
Yeah, the Walker never used it.
Yeah.
It was like the Walking Dead said, man, we know what y'all saw, or y'all thought y'all saw.
We thought, you saw it.
Just keep that in your mind.
Keep that in your mind for one of these spinoffs. We gonna bring it back. So he said, I think that the walker that picked up the knife may have been Mr. Struggle Braids himself. Maybe he is a Mandela effect that we all dreamed up. No, even though I did see somewhere, I think it was just like someone, speculating that they're like, maybe Heath got picked up by the CRM, so maybe we will see him in the spinoff with Rick and Michonne.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Because he just vanished.
They never went and looked for him. I mean, I know a lot of shit happened when he, it was not like they were like, oh, well, like a lot of stuff was going on, and then probably when it calmed down, they just kind of didn't go look for him.
Or they was hoping we forgot about
Or
him.
hoping we forgot about him, yeah.
Because he went to do 24?
Yeah, he did 24, but that was like in 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
But he probably never came back.
Yeah.
He probably was like, man, you know what? I don't need these roles anymore.
Right. I moved past this.
You
You know, he pulled a
I'm
Maggie.
I'm the new Jack Bauer.
He pulled a Maggie. He was like, I ain't coming back humble. I told him I ain't coming back, and I don't care if I have to be homeless. I ain't coming back. Maggie had to humble herself, put her head down, and be like, yo, let me come on back, yo.
Y'all got any more of those little roles?
Right, scratching. Y'all got any little more of those extras of the Walkng Dead? And she's like, I'll do this. Now she's doing a whole spinoff. Ain't that crazy? Well, that's what also teaches you to don't burn bridges. Because obviously she left professionally enough to where she was able to come back. So.
Yeah, good terms.
Yeah.
And she's an incredible actress.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so good for her for humbling herself. All right, he continues. Seen it before. Daryl giving Judith blood was like when Rick was giving Carl blood after he got shot, and they had went to the farm. Daryl covering the hospital door for Judith is like when Judith's dad Shane. That's so disrespectful.
Yeah, but Judith what?
Judith's dad Shane did it for Rick.
That is disrespectful.
Way back at the start. That walker at the hospital door was another callback to the first season when the number one roamer had a brick trying to break the window at the mall. I don't remember that one. I remember the walker in this season. You know, this episode had
actually going back. Shane is like a deadbeat dad.
How's he a deadbeat dad?
Well, I mean,
the baby died. I mean, he died before the baby was even born.
Yeah,
he tried to be with his baby. Let me stop because Shane was wrong.
Was wrong. I mean, if he would have survived, I'm pretty sure he would have been there.
Oh yeah, he definitely
because he was one of my favorite characters. But by him doing that stupid stuff. And let everybody find out he was doing stupid stuff.
Right.
He actually got himself killed. In fact, I think Rick was letting him go, right? Like, hey, go and don't come back.
Yeah, I think so.
But how do you go and not come back knowing that your child baby is about to be born?
Right.
So.
Remember, they told him that's my baby, even if it ain't my baby. I think that's what Rick said something along those lines. Or Lori did.
Right. So I'm just going to put him in a deadbeat dad category since he didn't survive. Okay. He should have fought harder. Okay. He should have been here, not Rick. I was just going to say that, put that out there.
Well, he continues. When Lydia and Aaron had walker guts on them, it was another callback to when Rick and Glenn had guts on them on the first season. Oh, yeah. So there's a lot of good callbacks. Even though they've done the guts on them so many times, I didn't connect it to that callback, but... Rosita, a.k.a. I'm Every Woman, was badass this episode. When she fell, everything stopped. It was similar to when Glenn fell off the trash can and when Carl got bit. When Rosita fell and my wife were like, heck nah. But then she emerged from those biters. She became our superwoman. I mean, she leaped a small building in a single bounce. Yeah, I thought that scene was amazing. I mean, yeah, when she fell, I was like, no. I'm like, the baby, and then when she popped up, I was like, yes, I knew it. Rosita's badass. But
that was amazing.
Yeah.
I just wish it didn't go down like that.
Or the bite would have been somewhere different.
I just wish it when it went down like that. Like, one of the guys let her go or told her to go first.
Yeah, it should have never happened.
Like, if Abraham, who was there?
Not
Abraham, but Gabriel. If Gabriel was there first, yeah, go ahead. But you got to put her between you guys.
Yeah.
Or just let her go first.
I agree.
But she's rolling over her grave right now. I just say Abraham.
Like, don't you talk about him.
Don't you bring his name up.
I got some things on Abraham, some callbacks with looking at all of our stuff, getting our top fives. I realized something about Abraham, but all right. He continues. They just broke our hearts killing her off. When she was gazing at Coco and Eugene, saw that something wasn't right with her, I was like, oh no. Yeah. Really wasn't a reason to kill her off. That was only for shock value, but she did kind of get another character from the comic book ending in a way. The show was ending Rosita should have lived in a happy ending. I agree.
No, I have to disagree with you, Ra.
Really?
Yeah. The show ended. I think everyone that didn't have a spinoff, don't have a spinoff, should have ended with it.
Ooh, that would have been a lot of people. Ezekiel?
That'd been amazing.
Jerry? Well, they're going to come back when they reboot the show.
I mean, they're going to come back because they have too big of roles. Like, Ezekiel has the Commonwealth now. Or Alexander, whichever one.
Wherever he's at.
Wherever he's at, he has that now. So he's in a position that... But Carol doesn't have anything. Maybe I'm just mad because she's been most likely to die for like 7 weeks, 7 years straight.
Yeah.
And just keep surviving. But I mean, I would have took them all out. I would have took her out. I would have took the pastor out. Although that's one of my favorite characters also. I even would have went as far as taking Eugene. If Jerry if he's not nowhere you got to go to.
Damn.
Oh yeah, this would have been a season finale. This would have been a bloodbath. In fact, I would have called it the bloodbath.
Yeah, that's what the episode should have been titled, the bloodbath, because it was called Rest in Peace. But it's like, okay, just Rosita, wasn't it? Just Rosita, if I remember correctly.
I mean, I guess for all we cared about.
Yeah.
I mean, they killed...
Oh no, Luke and Jules.
Oh yeah, Luke, Jules. They killed Glenn again. Killed 2 more extras.
All right, Maggie and Negan. Those two finally kissed and made up, in a way. I had notes saying that Negan needed to apologize sincerely, and he did. My wife was like, you called it. I like Maggie and Negan's dynamic and the complexity of their existence together, so they are interesting, and I can't wait to see their show. Do you guys know they were young Batman's parents on Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice? Wait, Negan and Maggie were?
I knew Negan or Jeffrey D. Morgan was there, but I didn't know Maggie.
Lauren. Lauren
Cohan.
Yeah, Lauren Cohan. Or Lauren, is it Lauren Conrad? No, that's the girl from
Cohan.
the Hills. Okay.
Lauren Cohan.
I always want to say Lauren Conrad, but that's the girl from the Hills. Yeah, I've only seen Batman v Superman like once, maybe twice. Maybe. So I don't remember.
Yeah, that's a fun fact though.
Yeah, that is a good fact. Fun fact.
Yeah, I didn't know she was in that.
All right, he hasn't seen it before. Negan wrote Judith a letter just like Carl did for everyone on his last episode. Yeah, that's cool. Although sometimes too many callbacks is like it gets a little cheesy, you know, when they do a little bit too many of them for the nostalgia effect. Like, you know, I mean, it worked with the Daryl blocking the Judith's door, you know, room door. I was fine with that. I'm okay with some similarities. History repeats itself, but...
Well, I really think it worked for this episode because, I mean, it was like Easter eggs because we missed most of them.
Yeah.
You know, we caught like you said, the Shane pushing Rick and blocking the door.
Right.
We caught a couple of others, but yeah, he's bringing some good ones up. Chantel brought some good ones up.
Yeah.
So I think it worked for this episode.
Okay. He has Mercer and Pamela at the gate. It was a joy seeing Pamela get arrested and locked up. Also loved how Mercer, the soldiers, and survivors all came to the aid of the lower class citizens of the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Gabriel and King Governor Ezekiel were boss. Loved how they stood up for the citizens and equality. I don't know how I feel about Pamela now. Think about it going like, what is she going to go to jail in the zombie apocalypse?
Yeah, I would have killed her too.
Like, come on.
But that's just me wanted just a bloodbath, wanted it to be like a boom, a bang.
Right.
But yeah, jail's probably the best place for her.
Yeah. And I'm kind of on that Rick level. Like, I'm not taking chances anymore, so she can come out and start. Well, I mean, not that I didn't see her as dangerous, but the people around her.
Yeah, she wasn't really dangerous.
Yeah.
But, I mean, why kill her and make her a martyr?
Yeah, that's true.
But, I mean, her being in jail, she might be one too.
Yeah. And the fact that they had lower class citizens, quote unquote, like, it shouldn't even be all that at this point, you know? But that's one thing I think would still actually be the case, because I think the pandemic, that's like the one thing it taught me, is even if like the zombie apocalypse happens, I know, you know, COVID wasn't the zombie apocalypse, but the level of pettiness that people have been in the last 2 years, the violence that people have been doing, the racism and sexual violence and all this other nonsense that people have been doing in the last 2 years, you would think at the beginning of the pandemic, I'm like, oh, look, everyone getting along. It's all nice and sweet. No, that lasted like 2 weeks. And then I was like, so now I realize I'm pretty sure it'd be the same way if the zombies came. People would still be fighting or trying to like, you know, no, all the black folks got to go to the zombie. I don't know. People would still do the same bullshit that they're doing today, I feel.
Yeah, people would be real petty.
Yeah. Okay, explosions to end all explosions. The explosions of the Walkers and Pamela Milton's mansion was sick and the graphics were killer. They used the Eugene beta trick by playing the music to hoard the sickles. Eugene did it with the sanctuary was surrounded by biters, and Beta did it to gather guardians. Yeah, we just saw that scene. Yeah. The explosion was the best yet, but how come everywhere our survivors go, it almost ends with fire? Herschel's farm, The barn was burnt down. The prison burnt down. Terminus burnt down. Alexandria nearly burnt down. The hilltop burnt down. Fear the Walking Dead. The tower burnt down. We need to check the Walking Dead credits for Michael Bay, the director from the Transformers series.
Yeah.
He
It's
loves
biblical.
up everything. Yeah, it might be biblical. And then, I don't know, fires,
Cleanse.
I don't know. It's scary. Fire's scary.
Well, I think it's biblical is like cleansing. It's supposed to be like the cleansing of the areas once they leave.
Yeah.
So I think it's on par with that.
All right, he has 1 year later. I love that King Governor Ezekiel and Lieutenant Governor Mercer are running the Commonwealth, and that Carol is the new liaison to the Commonwealth. I believe this group will guide the Commonwealth to equality, victory in a righteous way. The Commonwealth shall not fall, not on this day. Paraphrasing Ezekiel from season 7, episode 16, when he says Alexandria shall not fall, not on this day. That was a good one. I like that. Daryl and Carol's ending was cool. I wonder what happened for Melissa McBride to not want to do the spinoff at this time. I wish Connie would have left with him. Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah, they should have put somebody else in that place.
Yeah, they really should have.
It was opportunity.
Right.
It was a lot of missed opportunities
I agree.
on this. And I can understand Melissa not wanting to do another one.
Yeah, I mean, she's paid in the shade, and I don't know how old she is, but she's getting older. She might want to just enjoy the next 20 years of just living her life. Like,
Enjoy family.
Yeah, enjoy her family, travel, whatever. I'm sure the show like The Walking Dead seems like it would be very time consuming and very physically challenging.
And like you said, like Maggie did, Lauren Cohan, she's doing it right. Like she want to take her time. If she want to take time off, take a break, do whatever. I'm pretty sure that in the future, they may bring her back with Daryl.
That is true.
Probably leaving it open. That's why they didn't put anybody else with them.
Yeah, and why they didn't kill her off.
Yeah,
because they like her. They like her. So
they look at my face when you say that. Like, yeah,
that's why they didn't kill her off, Gary.
That's why. Yeah, let her take a little break. She's gonna want to come back. She's gonna miss us.
Yeah, she'll be back.
Because that's how it is.
Yeah.
When you take a vacation, you take off, you do your thing, and you're like, man, I missed the crew.
He says, crazy how Lauren Ridloff, who portrays Connie, actually has hearing problems. Wondering if that's why they didn't spin her off, but that was wasted charisma between Daryl and Connie.
It was a waste.
Mm-hmm. Because
we
really thought they were almost like, it felt love almost, when he was looking for her,
it happened, but it didn't happen.
It didn't happen, yeah.
Like
he was mad at Carol. He wasn't even talking to Carol when the Connie thing happened.
Yep.
Remember? It almost ruined their relationship. So there was strong feelings there. I don't know why they didn't pursue it. Especially we have not seen Daryl have any type of love or anything like that in the series. So it would have been cool to see him in the new series, like in love, but also at the same time doing, kicking ass. So unfortunate. By the way, this was the African American episode. They all came out on top. RJ got a line. Didn't really like how Mercer and Elijah I know. Didn't really like how Mercer and Elijah didn't get a chance to say a word at the end. Mercer should have at least been able to talk at the town hall meeting. Although a year had passed, it would have been nice for Mercer to say that the Commonwealth is prevailing and much better off from a year ago with the new administration in place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, all the black people survived, right? Yeah, everybody black survived, so that's what's up.
That's what's up.
Who are you voting for? I'm going for everybody who's black. I'm trying to do the Issa Rae, whatever she said a few years ago.
I mean, although, that was a nice... I would just kill everybody. I'm sorry. I would take everybody out.
Yeah, I would have still appreciated seeing a lot more deaths. I would have too. All right. The Rick and Michonne duet type cameo was cool, but didn't really like how they tried to fool us to think that they had found each other. But I'm not mad at them. Anytime I see Rick is all made kosher and in an off-sequence speech was timeless. It was a great memorial to the show, along with everyone saying, we are the ones that get to live.
Right.
Yeah, I wasn't fucking with that Rick and Michonne cameo / the first 2 minutes of their show. Because I promise you, when we go to their show, it's going to be those first 2 minutes or something weird like that. It didn't feel like they were part of the show.
Something along the lines.
Yeah, that scene was not filmed with the rest of the episode. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't even filmed together. It just felt like they threw it in there. It was weird. I didn't like it. The helicopter man called Rick Hosseini Grimes. Rick must be some type of manual labor worker. Maybe Rick works on the docks. Jadis did say he was strong. Also, the helicopter man sounds like the same helicopter man that Jadis was negotiating with on Rick's last episode. I think Rick didn't have his boots on to keep his tracks down, but I was like, if you get bit on the foot, I'm done. I wish Rick... or like step on something and get an infection, but I wish Rick would have had a beard and hair like Grizzly Adams, give us the look as if he's been in the wilderness for a cool minute, but maybe the CR makes them clean up. Yeah. Good job recognizing the voice from the helicopter. I'm curious if that's going to be like a real character that we'll see and learn, and maybe the fact they haven't showed us, maybe it's a character we already met before, like someone small, but we just didn't really know him that well.
Yeah. But in this scene, I wish Rick was probably a little more clean shaved, because it looks like they shot this scene right after the bridge blew up.
Yeah. It probably was.
It was shot right then.
It did not go with the episode. I just say that. So at the time that we're seeing Rick was before Michonne found his stuff on that boat, and it's already been a year and some change later since Michonne left the camp, right? All right, he has 2 theories on Rick. Theory 1, Rick may have been running away, Mr. Grimes was looking mighty grimy, and everyone we've seen from the Civic Republic always seemed to be clean cut.
All right, that would make more sense if he's been on a run for a while and he just finally caught up with them.
Yeah. And that's how he was trying to, like, leave those messages. I mean, it's making sense if he's being held hostage, because we already talked about that. We're like, Rick wouldn't just leave his family. So either he's there against his will, or he has no memory. And then when Michonne found his stuff, we're like, okay, well, that bunks the theory that he doesn't have any memory. So then we kind of realized he was there against his will.
No, actually, that made me think he didn't have his memory.
Oh, because that he drew the pictures, like, just thinking, like, I don't know, I keep seeing these people in my dreams, but I don't know who they are type of...
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, his theory number 2. Rick wasn't trying to run away. The helicopter man told him you can't escape the living. Also, Rick made it seem like he was mad. Like, you caught me and I don't want to go back. But then he smiled like he did when they first was surrounded by the trash people on season 7, episode 10. I think he's trying to send messages for his family to find him. Most likely he's going to need an army to take down the Civic Republic. In his talking montage, he said that he learned from everyone. So if he knows that he can't escape the living, he must have a plan to kill them all. Like he told Negan that they were already dead. I think the smile was for us on the other side of the screen. It let us know that he has a plan and for us not to worry.
That's a cool theory.
I do like that theory. Although at the same time, like, don't talk in code. Why didn't he say like, I would have appreciated if that letter was saying all that. Instead it was like, I'm thinking of you, and one day we'll be back together. Like, I don't know, whatever he was talking about.
Yeah, because in a letter, it should have showed that, hey, I'm being held against my will, but I will make my way back to you.
Yeah, he could even said officer friendly or something that they know. Or he could have said Shane. Or like he could have used a whole bunch of codes if he didn't, but to make it clear. Like, Shane's my brother, this is Shane's brother, if he didn't want to put his name. I don't know, I'm just thinking that he could have made it very, very clear, the situation. There's about 6,000 troops here, or whatever, how many people. Like, give them facts, give them information. Don't have them come on a rescue mission with 10 people, and then there's a whole bunch of people there.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Right.
All right, he says no spoilers, but here's some cool facts he found online. Rick got the first kill in season 1, episode 1, by killing little Walker girl with the teddy bear, and the last kill on season 11, episode 24, by killing the Mud Walker.
Who was the Walker girl with the teddy? Was that the one that was crawling no legs, sir?
I can't remember if that's the little girl. No. The little girl, she was like walking like with a nightgown on with the teddy bear.
Yeah. I remember. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Rob, but I'm going to say that Rick didn't get the last kill on season 11, episode 24. He wasn't there.
He said he wasn't there.
Yeah, they just threw that in. That's from the news show, but yeah, anywho. The weapon that Rick used is from a character on Beyond the Walking Dead. But the weapon may be a commonly used weapon by the CR. Also something that the helicopter man said may be a reference to Beyond the Walking Dead. Okay, now, Raw, you come in with some good facts right here.
Yeah. Had me want to watch the show.
Yeah, I mean,
like you was watching episodes.
Yeah, I watched Beyond the Walking Dead.
I haven't watched one episode of that.
It was so good. The season 1 was so good, and then season 2, I watched like an episode, and then I just stopped. I don't know. It just wasn't holding me in. But now you're making me go back. But I think that's a really good attention to detail that you have there to recognize the gun. Like, I don't know, all guns they just look like a gun. A big gun, a small gun. I wouldn't have recognized the gun. So I think that's pretty cool.
What are you talking about, the weapon?
Yeah, he was saying that it was the same gun used from...
I thought he was talking about like the little pitchfork when he said the same weapon.
No, he said the gun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have to go back.
No, he said the weapon. Okay.
I'm about to say,
I guess I just pictured a gun.
Yeah, I have to go back and watch because I didn't see him with the gun.
Oh, okay. Well, then that makes more sense. Yeah, maybe he didn't have a gun. He actually does say the weapon. So, okay, I guess I don't even remember what weapon he had.
The little fishing thing, like harpoons type weapon. Where he crushed the skull with.
Yeah. Okay. That makes more sense. I'm like, how did you recognize the gun? But okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I don't think Rick had a gun on him.
Yeah, now I think because if he did, he would have shot at the helicopter or something else to get away. Chandler Riggs, the actor that played Carl Grimes, was on the last episode. He was an extra at the Hilltop Colony. Couldn't see him in any shots. He was visiting set to say hi to everyone, and Greg Nicotero told him to put a hat on and jump in the way back. Seeing the screenshot below Chandler Riggs on set as some random guy, Carl was way in the back with struggle braids. No, he didn't say struggle braids. He said Struggle Heath and Scott. Oh, Sasha's real husband. Oh, really? Scott was back there? Wonder what happened to Scott. Pamela Milton was the only one ghosting folks. Yeah. We just saw the Chandler Riggs thing. We saw the
Chandler Riggs, but with Scott, they should have brought him to the forefront.
Yeah, they definitely should have.
I mean, with his character, it was like they started giving him speaking roles after what happened to Sasha.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he just disappeared.
Yeah, because he was just there. He was always just there. Once Sasha got there, he was just there. And then eventually we were like, oh, look at Scott. He's moving up. He's talking now. He's getting some speaking roles. Money probably looking even better. I was happy for him. And then once Sasha left, she's like, come on over to Star Trek or whatever. So,
Okay.
I don't know if he's still there. But all right. Walker's food for thought. If everyone's already infected, why does a bite make them sick? Gary was just talking about that the other day when we were watching. Literally just talking about that.
I just called bullshit on that. We was watching it. Was it last episode?
Yeah, it was last episode.
I was calling bullshit on that bite thing. And I think, I don't know why I thought about it, but I'm like, why does she have to die? If she's already infected with it, it's in everybody. Why does a bite kill him?
Right. Yeah.
Because if you think about it, with Pastor Gabriel, and this will go even deeper, the only reason he's blind out of one eye is because Walker blood got in his eye.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's the difference between the Walker blood getting in your eye and you getting bit?
And all those times that we've seen Rick kill people, like the machete or whatever, he was killing people and the blood is all on his face. Well, those are people. So, but then if they're infected, wouldn't their blood getting on him? I don't know.
But even with the Walkers, with them putting the
Walker
guts
blood all over
and
them,
blood all over themselves, I mean, the skin is the biggest organ. I mean, it's going to absorb all of that.
Right.
But it's, just the rules of the show.
Yeah. Which is there are no rules.
But yeah, I just mentioned that on the last episode.
He did. He said, is it the teeth or saliva? And if a biter has dentures, would you still get sick if it's not the saliva? And then what happened to all the deaf and blind people that changed? Could they even be dangerous? We see Connie and we see Kelly. Now, the blind, I don't know.
What were the crawlers?
What crawlers?
When Connie was inside the house.
Oh, yeah. What were they?
Oh, they were mute.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mute. Yeah. Just their tongues were missing.
Yeah. The collage of everyone saying we are the ones that get to live and had some past actors come back to do voiceovers. This was one of the highlights of the show for me. I didn't like it. It just sounded weird. Like we're the ones that get to live as opposed to anyone else. So I don't get it, but
I actually like seeing everyone. So, I'm like Nicole when they, we're the ones that get to live. I wish they would have. Well, I don't care. I don't care what they say. I was just happy to see everybody.
Right.
I was happy to see Carl come back. Just everybody. Glenn. Who else did we see? Did we see what's her name? Diana. Who was the nurse or the doctor?
Denise.
Denise.
Yeah.
Did we see her?
I don't know because we've been watching so much content to get ready for this episode.
Yeah.
I don't know if we saw her when, but we saw her recently. All right, thank you, Ra, and thank you so much for writing in this season because
thanks, Ra.
I don't think we mentioned you when we said all the names last week, so thank you so much. We appreciate it. He does have some top fives here, but we're going to start it off, and then as we go, we'll integrate everyone else's top fives in with ours.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so we're going to start off with villains of who our top five is, and we decided to collectively do top five because it would probably take forever if I have five, Garrett's five.
Yeah, believe me, it was argument.
It was argument. It was like, okay, fine.
We got each other's throat.
Fine, I'll take it off. Can I put him in an honorable mention? Like, it was just so
much. It was almost like the last episode of Walkng Dead up in here.
Yeah,
one of us was almost there make it.
One of us didn't make it. Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, I mean, the show overall has been so good. It was hard putting together a 5.
Yeah. Even when I did the favorite characters, and Gary's like, "Who you got?" And he's like, "You named all the characters." Like,
you named everybody.
I mean, how you? There's so many characters. How could I only have 5? So we had to like negotiate and compromise on which ones we were going to do for that too. So anywho.
So I think that's the only part where we chose to go in separate.
Yeah.
Well, the villains.
Oh no, we did say we couldn't agree on, and it was the characters. We're each going to have our own five characters because we just couldn't agree. All right, so we'll start off with 5
villains.
5 villains. We got the Governor, season 3, season 4. He's number 5. I like the Governor because he kind of came off as a nice guy, blah, blah, had his Woodbury. He was like the original Commonwealth, the original, I don't want to say Terminus because people were able to live there, but he had some dark, crazy rules just sort of like Commonwealth did.
Right, and I agree with you with the Governor. I don't agree with the number 5.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go.
Okay. And
I'll let you know the orders I would have put it in.
Okay. Then we have the Wolves from season 5, I believe. We had to change them around. We even had to negotiate where we were going to place them. And I think we still sort of agree on where we would place them. Because I think I would have had the Wolves like at my number 2 for villains. But when they came in, they were so badass. I think
the Wolves would have made my list.
Yeah, I think that's what you were saying. Like, they were one and done. Well, they were one and done for that episode. But remember, Morgan ran into them on the road before they came to Alexandria. That one time. And remember, they tried to take his food. No, they tried to take him. They're like, we want you. He's like, you can take my food. You can take whatever you want. But you can't take me.
Right.
So, number 3 is Gareth from the Terminus crew. I like this character or this villain because it was quick. He was in a long villain, which I appreciate. We saw what happens sometimes when you have a villain for too long. Negan, Alpha, I'm talking about you. But I like that he seemed like a nice guy. He seemed like a regular guy. He was able to play a regular person.
You know what? I said the Wolves wouldn't have made my list.
Uh-huh.
I was wrong.
Gareth wouldn't have.
Gareth wouldn't have made my list.
I liked it. I liked that whole Terminus storyline.
I loved the Terminus storyline, but he wasn't a big character in that storyline.
He was calling the shots and, I
mean, he was too nice with it. And he wasn't really calling the shots. Wasn't his mother calling the shots?
I mean, his mother was too, yeah. But he was, and he came back and tried to seek revenge. Then begged for his life.
Yeah, no.
And that was a good callback that happened, like, almost immediately. Like, 2 episodes later when Rick told him he was going to kill him with that red machete. And then Rick killed him with that red machete. He said, we ain't wasting no bullets.
Right.
None.
So that's your number 3.
That's my number 3.
All right. Who's your 2?
2 is Claimed crew. Joe.
Okay.
So if you guys remember Claimed, they were there season 3, 4, somewhere around there. It's after they left the prison when everyone was separated. So everyone, like, there's 2 characters here, 3 characters there. Everyone's kind of on their own because they had to run from the prison after the Governor. And the Claimed people is the ones that were chasing after Rick. Simultaneously, while they're chasing after Rick, they're also hanging out with Daryl. And they have this whole Claimed rule. And they were so scary. Like, I never usually am scared of watching The Walking Dead. But that
was a scary crew.
Yeah, when they were in the house, the episode they were in the house, when Rick, he was still kind of like recovering from getting his ass whooped by the Governor.
Yeah, and hiding under the bed.
Hiding under the bed. Like, that was so scary. That was such a good episode. So, number 2. Our number 1, dun dun dun, as you can guess it. We named all the villains. Gary, do you want to tell us our number 1?
Negan. And Negan's number 1 on anybody's list.
Yeah.
On both our list. Plus, I'm pretty sure anybody listening, Negan was the scariest villain in a long time.
He was. I was about to show my age and be really corny because when you said he should be number 1 on everybody's list, I was like, let's see what happens when he no longer exists. So anywho, corny, but I liked it. Yeah, Negan should be number 1 on everybody's list. He's on here a couple times. We'll just say that. He does make the list several times. He's awesome character. You go from hating him with every single cell in your body to now like, oh, there goes Negan. Like, y'all, forgive him. Forgive him.
You know what?
It's been a long time.
even when you hated him, you couldn't picture an episode without him.
Yeah, he was just super cool. Even Carl. Carl didn't like him, but he liked him. Carl wanted to stay close, but not stay close. He couldn't tell if he wanted to kill him or not, or like him become his daddy or something, you know?
Well, mentor, his daddy.
Man, when Rick had to like break it down, like Carl didn't make it. It was almost like he was telling Carl's other dad that Carl didn't make it.
and Negan was super sad.
Yeah, Negan was super sad. So, anywho.
All right, so let me give you my list.
Okay.
All right, I agree with you with the number 1, Negan. Come on now. Number 2, Claim people. Joe, I agree with you with Joe. And all of the Claim people. That was a scary crew.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, I wouldn't put, you put Terminus right there, Gareth, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to just take Gareth off the whole list. The Terminus people were not scary to me. They were just smart. They were able to get the upper hand. That's it. It was nothing about them that we feared during the whole thing. In fact, when they came along, we knew we'd be out of there in like a minute. We're like, okay, in a couple of minutes, we're going to be out of here on to the next story. There was no fear in my heart when we ran into the Terminus people. Even when they came back and they ate my boy. Who did they eat? They ate Bob. Even when they came back, I'm like, what are you doing? Why? I mean, this big-ass world, and you chasing us around it. Yeah. You're trying to get revenge.
Even old boy with his bruised eye and stuff from getting beat up by Tyrese. You got beat up almost to death. Just chill out.
It's no time to get revenge. I mean, y'all haven't even visited the West Coast.
Right. Go somewhere else. Go to the beach and chill.
Go to the beach. So I don't put them on my list. I didn't even consider them scary. I'm sorry. So I would have to move the governor to number 3. Who did you have for number 4?
Number 4 was the Wolves.
You are absolutely right about the Wolves. Although the Wolves were like a one and done, that one scene, well, when we met them again.
Yeah.
They came out of nowhere.
They came. Like, it was just like a regular episode. You just sitting there minding your own business, and then boom.
The episode just went crazy.
Yeah.
So they did it for me. So I'm not keeping them on the list. I'm sorry. I can't even keep them on the list. And in fact, I'm going to put Simon in that spot. Because I think Simon had the potential to be scarier than Negan. So I'm going to put him right there at number 4.
Okay.
Since I took them out, that was number 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who did I have? I had Negan at number 1. I had Joe number 2. The Governor number 3. Simon number 4. And I'm going to bring Alpha. Alpha was scary. I'm sorry. And the thing about Alpha is she was smart too. She was a smart villain. Like when she blended in with the village, she came with the wig on. Like you didn't even notice her when she snuck in there. When she snuck into, she was the hilltop. When she came in with the wig on, you remember the episode? The wig, she had the hat on, what is it, straw cap. But she just blended right in. She was smart, and she was smart enough to have Beta on her side. Come on now.
Yeah, those are good ones.
So yeah, that's me right there.
So you done made your own list. I thought when we came in here, we was like, yo, we gonna share this list. Now literally in the middle of the potting, you naming off lists. I'm like, what the heck?
Gotta switch it up on you, huh?
Switched it up on me.
But remember, while we was talking about it, I said I agree.
Yeah.
But the look on my face was like kind of sort of agree.
Yeah.
But in my head, I was like, Gary, you got to do your own thing.
Now, I wish you had told me I didn't switch my list up. But I got some honorable mentions. So let me actually say my honorable mentions for some villains. And I agree. Yeah, the Terminus people weren't super scary necessarily, but I like a smart villain. And you don't necessarily have to be a scary villain to be a good villain. There's different ways to be a good villain.
You're right, but it was like never any fear. They were like starter villains. Like everything was going good a week ago, and they're like, just this week I want to be a villain.
Yeah,
it's like they were still taking courses,
right,
at the community college.
Yeah,
they were still taking those courses. So
well, remember, they weren't intending to go out in the world and be villains. They end up, some bad shit happened, and so creating the making of a villain. That's what happened. Someone tried to villain them. They got the upper hand.
You're right.
Yeah. So that's what I also kind of like their story.
Yeah, because they were really bringing people.
Yeah, they were
bringing people into the Terminus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And probably the wolves.
Yeah, the wolves probably came, right.
Out of nowhere.
Crazy, yeah.
But who are your mentions?
All right, honorable mentions. Merle and Beta. And Merle was a villain to me because he was an asshole, even if he redeemed himself at the end. But Beta was a scary villain. Every time I saw Beta, I remember when Beta was fighting Daryl, I was like, Daryl, run. That big ass man. Don't try to fight him. Just run. Like, there's no need. Nothing else. And then I also added just worse villains. And that's because we've been watching so many videos and clips and histories of Walking Dead and just brought up other people that I forgot about. I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't like them. So that's Dawn from the hospital, Hornsby and Pamela, which I've been very vocal about this season. And then Michonne's friend, Jocelyn, like, just ridiculous. Just the stupidest villain. No, she might be tied with that villain from Fear the Walking Dead. That lady.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
She had no reason to be a villain. No reason
to be a villain. And Alpha.
Some everyday shit happened to her.
Yeah, everyday shit. Like, my tire got a flat tire on the way home. I'm going to become a villain. Like, what?
Make no sense.
Come on now. Make no sense whatsoever that she became a villain. But
anywho, like, her husband died, but nobody killed him.
Yeah, no one killed him. He, like, died in a car accident, and since no one stopped to help, she became a villain. Or he got hurt in a car accident and then died. I don't know, but...
Yeah.
And then Alpha, of course. All right,
so... Hold up. You have Alpha on the worst villain?
Worst villain ever.
Oh, you are crazy.
Nope. Stand by that.
I can't even look at you. I can't look at you. I can't respect that.
I stand by that. I did not like Alpha's voice. Her voice was just as annoying as Jada's. And I know someone's probably listening like, your voice is annoying. So what? Maybe it is, okay? But I'm just saying I hated Alpha's voice.
I didn't hate her voice. Maybe I didn't like how she carried it all the time. Mm-hmm. How it was a slow talk, like, Cole.
Even you doing it creeps me out.
Yeah, how she carried it. But, I mean, that was the part of her genius.
I mean, it is genius that she thought of putting the walkers on and kind of walking with the dead. So,
I mean, if you think about it, she was the deadliest villain.
Yeah.
If everything would have went right.
Right. Well, that's with everything. If everything would have went right, it would have been a perfect plan.
Because she had the potential. I mean, who could beat her if everything went right? The Saviors? She could have took the Saviors out. Nobody knew about the walkers that were walkers.
That's true. But wait, did they have guns? Because the Saviors had a lot of guns.
I don't think so, but I don't think they needed any.
No, but I'm saying the Saviors could have just shot them down.
Well, they just shot all the walkers?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, they didn't have to just get them all at one time. And then if you think about it, as many walkers she had, remember she had
hard.
I was about to say she had the most walkers out of any but she's the only villain with the walkers.
Yeah.
But yeah, she had a crazy herd. When Daryl was looking over the hill, looking over the little Rocky Mountain, wherever they looked over, remember all those damn walkers down there. They went on for miles.
Right.
So, I mean, villain to villain, I don't think any villain could have beat Alpha or in any other group if everything would have went right. And one thing about Alpha you got to remember also is that she just didn't want to be bothered. Mm-hmm. She didn't want to go in there and kill them. She didn't want to scare them. She didn't want them crossing that line because she knew what people were capable of.
That is true.
She was just collecting the walkers just for a time like this. Like, oh, y'all don't listen. Y'all hard.
Yeah, that is true.
I got to come get you now.
All right. So I'm going to go over Raw's favorite villains as well. And then we'll do Tiffany and Chantel's favorite villain. He has Negan. He's not numbered. So these are not numbered. But he has Negan, Simon, Garrett. Garrett is from Terminus. Thank you. I see. We got some similarities. But then he also has Beta and Alpha.
There you go.
Or Alpha Wolf. So I don't know if he's actually talking about the wolves or actually Alpha. And then he actually threw in a 6th one. He didn't do top 5. He did top however many he felt like. So he also has Shane, and he says, and yes, he was a villain, Gary. Haha. Yeah, that was a good list. I
would have said Garrett off, and when you said Alpha Wolf, he probably was talking about the wolves. The
wolves, yeah.
And put Beta in there. Like I said, Beta was scary. So I like the list. I would have kicked Garrett off, but hey.
Yeah. Okay, I'm looking at Chantel. She has some different top 5, so we might go that separately. Let me look and see what Tiffany has and see if she has her top 5's episode. Yeah, she does. She does have top. Oh, okay. I see what she's doing here. Okay, they actually have some more information in, so I'm gonna do theirs separately, but we'll do Roz with ours because his is kind of separated like ours, and then I'll do Tiffany and Chantel's letters after.
Okay, cool.
All right, so next on our list is episodes. Top 5 episodes. We are gonna start it off with number 1. Oh no, actually we're going from least to worst. I mean least to best or whatever. So number 5. We're gonna start at 5 and then go to 1. It's season 11, episode 6, entitled On the Inside. And it was the episode when Connie and Virgil got stuck in that house with the meat people you just mentioned.
Yes.
I remember we watched, I mean, that was not that long ago. Season 11. Early season 11. So maybe a year and a half ago.
In fact, that was the best episode of that. Well, shit.
That was
the best episode
of the season.
of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty, I remember it now. That was also scary. Especially scary because we were like in the perspective of Connie. We couldn't hear. We didn't know what was going on. They did a really good job.
It's like we knew what was going on, but when we got to her, we turned into her.
Yes, yeah, we turned into her. Sometimes we would get sound and sometimes not. Very, very well done episode.
It was.
And if you're wondering, like, how did we come upon episodes? Well, they had 100, there's like 170 something episodes of The Walking Dead. So for us to go back and pick 5, and I did just recently rewatch up until I think season 9 is when I stopped rewatching. I did like over the break. So yeah, some episodes are fresh in our head, but it's the episodes that we could easily remember. Like, remember this, remember that.
And that's what I thought about. Yeah. I'm like, the episodes that just... I want to watch again now. I could just remember off the top of my head.
Right.
Like, if I don't remember the episode, I mean, yeah, it could have been good.
Yeah. All right, number 4. It is going to be season 5, episode 1, entitled No Sanctuary. And we had so many arguments about this episode because I had 2 Terminus episodes. I really enjoyed the episode when they get caught at Terminus, which I believe is season 4 finale. And Rick goes, they don't know who they're messing with. Look at Rick. Remember, everyone was such a big deal. They're like, they could have had Rick say they don't know who they're fucking with. I think they did in, like, if you watch it on Netflix, he says they don't know who they're fucking with. But when it aired at that time, they don't know who they're messing with. And everyone's like, such a missed opportunity. And then now in this season, from going from season 4 when he did that episode to season 11 now, they were saying fuck every episode.
every other word.
Every other word. I mean, they only get 1, I think, per episode, but they said it like the last 3 episodes.
What in the fuck is happening over the fucking there?
So you got 11 seasons to make up for not saying this word. But yeah, that Carol coming in, season 1, it was still the beginning of the Carol badass. Like, we started realizing Carol was badass after she killed Karen and David. And even then, we didn't consider that badass. I remember we were shocked. Like, everyone's like, whoa, Carol? Remember when Karen and David, everyone's trying to figure out who did it. Carol was not on the top of your radar. But by this, she had made a name for herself.
Yeah.
Because she was just a character. She wasn't even like I don't want to say not an important character, but she was not, you don't turn it on and like, I wonder what Carol's going to do this episode. But I feel like by season 5, you were like, yo, I wonder what Carol's going to be doing this episode. So, good job, Carol. Or good job, killing all those people to save our team. So, all right. And then number 3, we just kind of talked about this, and that's season 6, episode 2, entitled JSS. Just arrived somehow. And that's when the wolves come to Alexandria.
Come out of nowhere.
Just jumping over the walls.
In fact, this was just going to be a regular episode.
Yeah, it was just a regular episode. Just walking. Everyone's minding their biz.
The first person we saw get killed, she just went outside, just lit a cigarette, right?
Yeah, and that was the lady that Carol had said, you better stop smoking the cigarettes because they'll kill you or something like that. Yeah, and I was trying to look it up to see if this was also the episode that Ron pulled the knife out on Carl, but when I looked it up, it did say Ron and Carl were together, but it didn't mention, not the knife, the gun. So I'm like, I don't know for sure if this was the episode.
Well, I know this is the episode Carl saved him.
Yes, Carl did save him, but I didn't know if it was that. So it must be like the next episode or a few episodes later, because I think Ron was embarrassed that he got saved. Remember, because Enid was there too.
Well, yeah, not just embarrassed. You saved me and you had my girl. It wasn't like you saved me with my girl with me.
Yeah.
It's like you saved me, I look over towards you, and my girl's with you.
And my girl's with you. But that's also the episode.
Nicole, get your ass over here.
That's why it's called JSS, because that's also the episode we got Enid's background, and at the end, Enid leaves, and long story short, we finally found her, and Glenn, balloons, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
All right, number 2. This was a big one. It was season 6, episode 12, entitled No Tomorrow Yet, which is when our group kills the saviors in their sleep.
That was gruesome. In fact, at the time when it happened, I remember at the end of the episode, I was like, Nicole, this episode turned my stomach.
Yeah, we were all sick to our stomach. It was like the whole world, everyone that was watching.
Because, we went online and started looking at other people's reaction. And it's like everyone had the same reaction.
Everyone's like, oh my, I can't believe they killed those people in their sleep. Like, who's that bad that gets killed in their sleep?
I mean, we found out how high that is on people don't do lists.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew how high animals were.
Yeah. We knew animals,
cats.
Dogs, cats, don't
Right.
touch them. But I think killing people in their sleep probably comes a close second to people that like really are serious about their animals. So I think it's like animals and then killing people in their sleep. It's just something about that. Like they can't even protect themselves.
They don't mind killing people, but they have to be awake.
They have to be awake.
So I think I put that above animals.
Yeah. They can even be awake and you get the drop on them. But it's not like, because I don't know, something about them, like they're in their sleep. You're supposed to be peaceful. You're supposed to have peace when you're sleeping. So.
Yeah, it was cold-blooded.
Yeah. I think we've seen so much more now, and especially if this was back in season 5, Game of Thrones was out, and Game of Thrones probably like desensitized us. So I'm pretty sure if we watched that episode like today, we'd be like, oh, well, understandable. Like it wouldn't be as gruesome, but the time it aired, it was like very hard to watch. All right, and for number 1, as far as we can remember, favorite episode is going to be season 6, episode 16, entitled Last Day on Earth.
Yes.
The introduction to Negan.
Yes. So, I mean, that was like the best episode.
Yeah, it was. I mean, at this point, we've been hearing Negan's name so much. The Saviors go, our group goes, kills the Saviors. They even ask one of the Saviors, like, what's your name? He was like, Negan. They kill him. They're like, yep, kill Negan. I think Daryl was like, yep, I just killed Negan right there. Like, remember? We were so blind. We didn't know anything. We didn't know
who were. We started to speculate that's what they called themselves. It was like a cult. They called themselves Negan because everyone was Negan.
No, I mean, well, yeah, but by the time we get to this episode, season 6, episode 16,
yeah, we knew.
We knew, yeah, and it ends on a cliffhanger. It was such a big deal at the time. We don't know who died. Yeah. Everyone's speculating who.
It ended on any, many, miny, mo.
Which is like, it just reminds you of what Maggie said to me. I will never ever fucking forgive you. Nick did a song deciding on if you were going to kill my husband. No way. I'll never ever forgive you. Ever. Even if we're in the show together. Like, it's not happening. So, yeah, that was good.
All right, what does Raw have?
I'm just about to look. Okay, Raw did not do favorite episodes, so we'll move on.
All right, do you have any honorable mentions?
Oh, yeah, thank you. Actually, honorable mention for the favorite episodes is Carl getting shot both times. You're like, you can't put both. I'm like, both times was it like a crazy that he got shot. You know, the first time he's a little kid and he got shot out of nowhere, and we're still very new into the season, well, season 2. So you're just like, what the heck? A kid's getting shot? And then the second time, it was sort of like a freak accident where Ron's about to shoot him. Michonne saves him by killing Ron when the gun goes off and shoots Carl in the eye. And then when he turns around and goes, Dad, like, amazing. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
So that was an honorable mention. And then the season 7 premiere, which it was really sad. And that's when we find out who Negan killed. And then also we have the bridge. And I think that was more yours that's with Rick when we thought he died. Like when we didn't know what happened. That whole episode, we just.
Yeah, that was a pretty good episode.
We just watched a recap of it and it was really good. All right, let's go to deaths. Oh, I don't see deaths ranked, but so I'll just go over them.
Well, yeah, let's talk about it. I'll rank them for you right quick.
Okay. Well, we got season 5, episode 14, or I can tell you all the ones that we discussed. We did discuss them, but we guess we didn't rank them. We got season 5, episode 14, entitled Spend, and that's when Noah died. Actually, I have it on there twice because that's also the same episode that Diana's son died.
Yes.
And both deaths were so good. I mean, Diana's son, you didn't feel as bad because he was such an asshole, and not saying assholes deserve that, but you just didn't feel as bad. You were like, damn, I know that death hurts. Like, he's alive while they're biting him, and he's stuck to the thing, and the walkers come. Like, that's scary and horrible. But
right.
Noah?
So I'll probably rank him at number 5. You're number 5?
But Noah too? Because I kind of have them separated, even though they're same episode. To me, they were both.
No. Yeah, him out.
Oh, you rank Diana, the boy, Aiden. Yeah.
Yeah, Noah will probably be, judging from the list, probably number 4.
Really? I mean, Noah's my number 1. Really. Noah's my number 2. Noah's my number 1. He's my number one.
It's almost like you didn't get to know Noah.
I knew Noah.
You knew.
I've known him since Everybody Hates Chris.
That's what I'm about to say. You knew Everybody Hates Chris, but Noah really didn't have any personality on The Walking Dead.
That is his personality. His personality is not having personality. He's like that on every show he's on. He's like just like the guy next door. He's just like a friendly person. The
same character. You are right.
He's just like a nice person. That's all he is. It's like a nice person. Like if you're like, hey, tell me about him. You're like, oh, he's nice. He's cool. But you don't have any specifics to tell about him. Which either way, Noah's a solid character. He was actually trying to better Alexandria and learn from Dinah's husband. And then to die that gruesome death, all because Nicholas was a coward, and then Nicholas ends up killing himself like a few months later. Fuck that. All right, next on the deaths is Jesus from season 9, episode 8, Evolution. This is where I was kind of struggling if it's number 1 or number 2, because we were just like, what did we just watch? What just happened?
Yes, I think that would be a number 2.
Yeah, I agree. R.I.P. Jesus, we loved you. You were a good man. You brought us to Alexandria.
We did.
So, no, he didn't bring us to Alexandria. No. He brought us to Hilltop.
Yeah, Alexandria. That was Aaron.
Yeah. All right, next we have season 4, episode 14, and we get Lizzie and Mika's death. Baby Judith died almost too. So if you guys remember, Lizzie, right, is the older girl.
Yes. She
had some mental health issues, which they haven't really shown that much. So I did appreciate that they showed it so early on. Like, well, that is not even early on. That was season 4. But, you know, they showed how can someone that has mental illness survive? And how do you treat mental illness in the zombie apocalypse? Because like they said, they were like, okay, we're going to always have to be on guard. Like no one can ever, it's only one person can sleep at a time. Yeah. With Tyrese and Carol. Because we got to protect the baby. So Lizzie kills Mika and was just about to kill Judith, and then that's when Carol, of course, has to kill Lizzie herself and tells her, "Look at the flowers." There's so many memes for it. Yeah, it's a memorable scene.
So that'd be your number 3. Well, I don't know.
I'm gonna actually.
Everybody hates Chris. Not everybody hates Chris, but Noah. Since you say you love this character so much.
It was so hard to rate him. It was we were talking. It feels like this podcast is gonna be long, but I swear we talked and discussed and did so much stuff for like hours. It feels before actually getting on it, because I'm so conflicted. I'm like, but I just remember the feelings each one, so I don't know what's feeling is stronger. But I'll put them at 4. The next one is Glenn, season 7, episode 1. The day will come when you won't be.
Yep.
To me, it was more sad for Abraham. Like, Abraham took it as a G. And this is what I said I just learned about Abraham. And I don't want to say take it like a G. Like, if someone's hitting me in the bat, I'm probably going to scream my eyes out if I can. Not literally. Well, no offense to Glenn, whose eyeballs literally did pop out of his head. But I didn't mean to say, like, he took it as a G. Like, I don't want to make it sound like you got to just take a beating like that gruesome. But I just meant he was a very strong person. You would never expect someone so big and strong to to die that fast.
Yeah, but what does it have to do with Glenn?
Because we picked Glenn, but I really wanted Glenn and Abraham.
Okay, I'll give you Abraham.
Okay,
because really when I just heard your list, it's kind of whack to me anyway. You always putting it together. You know, I had to remove some people. I should have had to remove everybody, and we just brought back probably 2. So the 2 I would have kept on there is number 1 is Glenn. That was just the saddest death. And to me, that was sadder than Abraham, because I just felt like more attached to Glenn. I feel like I just knew him more.
Yeah.
Knew him. He had a wife. He had a baby on the way. Abraham, I guess I didn't feel as bad for Abraham, because Abraham wanted to do that for the team. He wanted to take it for the team.
Yeah. And I also heard this was the episode. No, it can't be. Because was it? No, it can't be. It must be something else. I can say I know something on our list I had, or I thought I did. Maybe I didn't write it down. I see it. It was back on our favorite episodes. And when they kill the saviors in the sleep, that was the episode that Abe leaves Rosita. I was going to say, how could he leave her now when he's right. About to die? So, yeah.
So, my number 2 will be Shane. The reason is because that's the first time we've seen someone die and come just straight back. It's almost like as soon as Shane hit the ground, he was a walker.
True.
Like, Rick didn't have time to take 3 steps before Shane was right behind him.
Yeah.
So that was just incredible.
And that's when we didn't like Carl. Because remember, Carl was pointing the gun, and Shane's like, Rick's like, let me explain. And then Carl shoots, but he shoots Shane from behind Rick.
Right.
The zombie Shane. So, yeah, that's a good one.
And that started the villain of Carl, which Carl is on my list, but I'm going to bring, I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, Carl's right here at 4. Because what I do? I did Glenn 1, Jesus 2. No, I didn't do Jesus 2, did I?
I don't know, because I think you didn't. No, you did Noah 2.
I didn't do Noah at all. Stop trying to sneak on my list. So real quick, I have Glenn. Yeah, Shane is my 2. Jesus is my 3. Then I have Carl. And Jesus just for,
Who do you get for 5?
5, I have probably Lizzie. I mean, that was just a popular death.
Yeah.
So, and I don't have any honorable mentions.
I have like 5 honorable mentions.
So really, it's your top 10.
No, I have just like some.
No,
cool,
top 12 because you threw a couple more people in there.
Just some cool mentions. The Karen David, because that was like the start of like our Carol. Like that was the first. Remember, we didn't know who killed Karen and David back then. So that was the start of our Carol. I have Carl, and I have Lori. Like she had such a horrible ending for, like, I feel so bad for that character. Not a horrible ending like they did her wrong. Like, I mean, like, damn, she went through a lot of shit. Like, she thought she lost her husband, but she's saved by her husband's best friend. But then they develop feelings for each other and they sort of feel guilty. But then, oh no, husband is not actually dead. He's alive. Yay. But now I've slept with his best friend. Oh no, I'm now pregnant in the zombie apocalypse with either my husband's best friend's baby or and then to die in
but you know what?
Childbirth. Like,
I don't think that would have made it different, like who she's pregnant by, if Rick would have just stayed dead.
if Rick would have stayed, yeah.
If he would have never came back,
dead, yeah.
It would have never been like a moral thing, like, oh my God, whatever.
Yeah. She probably would, yeah. I mean, I know people hated Lori. I think they were just way too harsh.
They were.
Way too harsh. And then I have Denise and Rosita as well. Just honorable mention.
Denise was a good one.
Mm-hmm. That came out of nowhere too.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. Unexpected.
Yeah. All right, so Ra's top 5 deaths. What, you going to change some more?
No. I just thought of another good one, but no.
Okay. Well, Ra might have. He has Carl, Glenn, Rosita, Abraham, Tyrese. Oh.
You mentioned Tyrese.
I was mentioning Tyrese, I think, for one of favorite characters, but I didn't like Tyrese's death because remember, it was like he's just sitting there and then he gets bit in the arm by like Noah's twin dead brother, or little brother, zombie brother. And then it's like, Tyrese, we've seen him fight walkers. We've seen him fight some people. We've seen him get beat up by Rick weirdly.
Yeah.
And to die from a walker
the way they was developing his character was just crazy.
Up and down.
Like, it was just up and down. Like, when we came in, well, you know what? Yeah, I can't believe Tyreek getting beat up by Rick at that moment. Tyrese. Because remember, Tyrese...
Oh, he was sort of like a pacifist, too.
Yeah, and remember, he didn't know how to shoot or anything.
Right. But you know how to throw your hands, do you not?
Well, obviously, he didn't at the time. But I think my problem with it is...
I thought he was a boxer.
You know, The Wire. Spoiler alert. If you haven't watched The Wire...
Yeah, Tyrese is on there.
Yeah, Tyrese is he's a coach now. Boxing coach.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then they just turned him into a superhero. Like, this dude killing walkers with his bare hands. He's protected in Judah. So I think that kind of made us look at, like, damn, how did Rick beat him up like that? Yeah. I think that probably came a little later. Like, that didn't make any sense how they did Tyrese.
Well, if you remember, not trying to make it a race thing, but if you do remember those first few seasons of Walkng Dead, people were saying, like, Walkng Dead has a problem in how they develop the black men on their show. Like, even T-Dog, I kind of joked at T-Dog. I thought he was from the comics. The other day I read somewhere that T-Dog was not even in the comics, meaning the show Walkng Dead brought this character on.
Hold the fuck up. What? that's my fuck for this episode.
Nicknamed this man T-Dog.
Hold on. T-Dog wasn't in the comic book?
No! I swear I just saw that. Maybe it was on trivia. And so I may be wrong, but I read it just literally the other day.
You better be lying. Because they did not bring a black man on the show and call him T-Dog.
And I'm not even judging the actor necessarily, because I understand a bag is a bag. Who knows what if they called me? Who knows if they still call me for one of these spinoffs? What I might allow them to call my character? I don't know. It's hard to say no in the face of such a big opportunity. But the way they did T-Dog and how he got beat up by Merle, like, not just beat up, he got his ass whooped by Merle. I think Merle even spit on him. Like, what? I wouldn't even allow that shit. No way. Like, no, we ain't having this man spit on me.
Not in this climate. Not the climate we're in right now.
No. So they did T-Dog like that. Then they had Bob the alcoholic, you know, and like they tried to make it so the characters weren't completely bad. So like Bob's alcoholic, but he's also an EMT. And then Tyrese, he's a pacifist. He's a nice black. But but he can steal. He's a strong black. It was kind of weird, sick, and racist.
So T-Dog was in the comics.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, but T-Dog was based on Tyrese in the comics. So it's probably like they brought...
Okay, so then maybe it was Tyrese they didn't. Are you sure it's not the other way around? Maybe... Because I swear it was T-Dog.
Well, I mean, this is what I'm reading, because I couldn't believe it when you said it. I couldn't believe they just pulled that out of... They had a writer in the room that said, you know, everybody else get their real names, their governments.
Yeah.
But we're going to call him T-Dog.
We're going to call him T-Dog. What is the T... I was going to say, what does the T stand for? But you're saying Tyrese.
No, the T was Theodore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's like weird. It's a zombie apocalypse and you meet survivors and they're like, yo, what's your name? You still go by like Lil Ray Ray. Like, you're just gonna say your name. Like, shit has hit the fan. I don't have time for nicknames and anything else. Like, you know, if someone met Drake in the zombie apocalypse, I hope he doesn't introduce himself as Drake. We don't have time for this bullshit anymore. Say your real name, okay? But anywho, yeah, I might have been wrong about that T-Dog part.
I mean, you might be right. I don't know. Because it says T-Dog was based. So maybe in the comics, his name wasn't T-Dog. Because it says it's based on Tyrese from the comics. But they brought in a Tyrese.
Yeah. But
that was after they killed T-Dog.
Yeah. Well, remember, that was the other rumor. They're like, they only have one black man on time. Like, they'll kill one, bring another. Kill one, bring another. And that's why everyone was getting worried when I think it was Morgan, Ezekiel, and there was like, oh, and Gabriel. And we're like, uh-oh. There's 3 black males. What are they going to do? So, anywho. Not making it controversial or racist. Sorry if I offend anyone. It's just, it was something that has been discussed widely, I would say.
That's probably why they had to kill T-Dog.
Oh.
Well, no, not because we felt some type of way about the name.
Uh-huh.
Because...
Oh, because they wanted to bring Tyrese in.
Yeah, because you can't... I don't think now that you had the T-Dog, you could change his character around like that to become the Tyrese character.
Right. Well,
but this is a speculation. I don't know.
Nothing like. Actually, I don't even know what type T-Dog was.
I never even met a T-Dog in my life.
No, Clifford the big red dog. Isn't there a T-Dog or a T-Bone or? I think there's
I'm talking about
T-Dog.
I'm talking about in like real life. I've never met, and I'm not talking about the name. I'm talking about a guy that acts like that.
Oh, like the personality.
I never met the personality T-Dog.
Yeah.
I just never met a T-Dog in my life.
Yeah.
And I've been black my whole life.
They did also have T-Dog like as sort of like a like fake gangster. Remember?
Okay, so if that's the case, I guess it probably would make more sense.
Yeah.
If he's like like the Malibu gangster.
Yeah, he was supposed to be something
or the
like
CB4.
Yeah. He was supposed to be like a local gangster.
Like it's the... Oh, well, that's not a fake gangster then.
No, I mean, not a real local one. Like one that just thinks he's hardcore.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, that would make more sense. Because now he get a chance to live out his dreams.
Yeah.
The world would know him as T-Dog.
Man, Merle set him straight real quick.
Real quick.
Like, I'd just be so embarrassed if that happened to me. And then that's another thing. If we're talking about that whole scene, them going back, like him dropping the key, he's like, "I'm sorry, man. You know what I would have did? I would have put the key out in front of me. See this key?" And then threw it. Like, fuck you. You just beat my ass. You think I'm gonna let you go? Like, no. I'm tired of them letting like certain characters can get their revenge, and the other characters have to show like grace and empathy, and stop themselves from going all the way. And I feel like that's what T-Dog should have did. Like, instead, he dropped the key, but it was like accidentally, so.
Yeah, T-Dog got his revenge. But remember they tried to change T-Dog character up, try to make him lovable. He started participating with the team, doing everything.
But then when he got sick, remember he like told Dale, he's like, "Come on, let's go." Oh no, he got an infection. His arm got hurt when they were hiding from the walkers, and then he's like, "Come on, Dale, let's just leave everybody." So and Dale's like, "You ain't talking straight, T-Dog." I can't say T-Dog without laughing. Oh my god.
All right, let's go, mate.
All right, let's go. All right, we got top seasons. We'll go over this quickly. This episode is getting long. In number 5 spot, we got season 1. In number 4 spot, season 9. Very good season. I remember everyone started giving up on The Walking Dead, and then season 9 came on. And we're like, whoa, it improved.
In fact, ratings dropped and everything.
Yeah, ratings had dropped and everything, but season 9 was solid.
Yeah, brought it back up.
Season 3 is also number 3. And then season 5, number 2. And season 6, number 1. And just season 6 was so good. You know, that was when the walkers, they're situated in Alexandria, comfortable there. They've been there for a while.
I mean, you get everything.
Everything. We keep hearing the name Negan. That's when they kill the people in their sleep. So much happened that season. So. And
the wolves?
The wolves came season 5.
Oh, that's when we first met them.
Yeah.
In season 5.
In season 5, yeah.
All right. But they were still a part of season 6.
No.
Or did they?
Because actually, I'm sorry. Yes, you are correct. We met them in season 5, I believe.
With Morgan.
And then they come in season 6, Alexandria. Season 6, episode 2. It's very beginning of season 6.
Right. So we had 2 villains. Because we had them and the Saviors.
Yeah. Because they were a quick villain. Which I like my quick villains. I like those quick villains. We didn't really get much of it.
Yeah, you don't really need a whole season.
Yeah.
Like especially season 2 of Fear villain. Mm-hmm. We didn't need her that whole season.
Yeah. All right. Top characters. This is where we just couldn't agree on. So I know you have yours. I'll go over mine. I don't even think most of mine need an explanation, but I'll start from 5 to 1. All right. So number 5, we got Shane, the great Shane. I think he was just too soon before his time. Like, I know everyone judged him back then and thought of him, like even Ross said, as a villain. But Shane does, like, what he did is like like innocent, PG-13 compared to what we've done.
You got to think about how honorable he started off. He's helping saving our people.
Yeah.
He
helped Carol's
husband.
I think he was pissed off at that time. Remember? I think that's when Rick came back. He saw Carol's husband. He's like, man, I want to hit somebody.
Yeah.
Like it was some anger coming from somewhere else. Yeah. But still.
But he was a protector of all those people.
True. We got Aaron. I'll put Aaron at my number 4. You guys, I talked about Aaron. He's just a nice character, a good guy, a father. He's always willing to help people. He even let Rick and them come back after the disrespect Rick did treated towards him. He still let him come to Alexandria. So he's just always been a good dude. I really, really like his character.
Yeah. 3,
Negan. I said it once, I'll say it again. I hate Negan, but I love him at the same time. He's such a good character. He's so fun to watch. You feel like you're betraying yourself when you started to like him. Like, when he started making those jokes and you're starting laughing, you're like, wait, I'm like enjoying seeing this guy on screen. And they probably wouldn't even kept him this long. I'm enjoying him too much. So you start feeling guilty, like, no, do not like him. I'll never forgive him. But he did such a good job winning over our hearts. And, as like I said, I still agree with Maggie, never forgiving him. But I like his character. Then we have Michonne for number 2. She came in with the Force. I think we saw her with her 2 dead walkers. She opened up to Rick. She opened up to Judith. She was so closed off after losing her son. And to see how far she's come as a character when she was so closed off and not wanting to let anyone into how she was when she went to go look for Rick. She has his back even when she don't have his back, always. So really enjoyed her character. One. Yeah. And then, of course, number 1 character is going to have to go to Eugene. He's been... I just want to see what your face is going to say. No, number 1, of course, goes to Rick. Great character, even though he hasn't been on the show, in 2 seasons. I still enjoyed him. He's what made us all fall in love with this show. 4. No, he left early season 9.
Oh, 5.
What are you talking about?
I thought about each half is his own season.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why they're playing this.
Yeah, this was definitely like season technical equivalent, like of season 12 or something. But yeah, so Rick is my number one. I know we were gonna change. You were gonna change yours. So let me give my honorable mention real quick though. Oh, I erased a lot of the characters. You were telling me I had too many honorable mentions, but
you had the whole cast.
I did. I had the whole cast, but I left Carol, of course. Carol's badass. I love her. Even though I disagree with her so many times, her actions, still awesome character. Dale, just when we were doing our research for the episode, just reminding myself like what a good person Dale was. He was always trying to be level-headed, always trying to talk to the group about what to do and what not to do. Really enjoyed his character. He was gone way too soon. And then Ezekiel. You know, we laugh at what he used to sound like, what he's talk like, but he still says, you know, what does he say? Still I smile. So always positive.
Still one of the coolest people on the show.
Yep. So yeah, those are my favorite characters. Who do you got?
All right, my list is a little different. I didn't base my list on like probably the popular characters. It's basically based on the people that I couldn't watch the show without them being on there.
Okay.
I'm going to start at 5. And I'm going to go Negan. 4 is Daryl. 3 is King. 2 is Judith. And my top 1 is Carol. So looking at my list, it looks like, you know, I probably would have enjoyed a Carol Daryl spinoff.
Yeah. Yeah, you would.
Because everybody on my list has something to do with Carol. Well, you know, Negan has something to do with everybody.
Right.
But, you know, the King and Carol. Daryl, Carol, and Judith because of Daryl.
Yeah, Judith was on my honorable mention at first, and then I had so many characters, so I was like, oh, she's a kid, but technically, no, Judith was awesome. That little girl did an amazing job.
Amazing, yep.
Okay, no, your list is good. Raw does have his favorite characters. I'm just going to read him in the order he has it listed, which is Rick Grimes, Michonne, Morgan Jones, Negan Smith, you know the first and last names, Gabriel Stokes, Carol Peltier, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, Rosita Espinoza, and Carl Grimes. That's a good list.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And I like the Carl, because I remember when he was a little kid, everyone used to hate how he used to do stupid shit, get into shit, but he ended up turning it out to be like a good man, you know?
Yeah.
And then he ends it with, I hope The Verdict's End does podcasts on the other spinoffs for The Walking Dead for us that watch and listen. Thank you so much, Gary Nicole. Kindest regards, Ra.
Thank you, Ra.
Oh, and he says, by the way, The Walking Dead was a documentary. Ha ha ha. That would be crazy.
It was.
Okay, and sorry, Ra, I just noticed your other email where you did send top 5. So I think we already did your top 5 deaths, villains, and favorite characters. So let's go over your favorite episodes.
Okay.
And he has a lot more than 5. But he has very nicely organized. He has season 2 episode, this is all season 2 so far. Season 2 episode 10, 18 Miles Out. Season 2 episode 12, Better Angels.
Oh, that was a good episode.
You remember it?
Yep.
Season 3 episode 8, Made to Suffer. Season 4 episode 16A. I do remember that. And then in seasons 1, he has episode 1 for First Time Again. I remember that with Morgan and Rick. Episode 2, JSS, which we had. Episode 8, Start to Finish. Episode 12, Not Tomorrow Yet. Episode 15, East. And episode 16, Last Day on Earth. So you really enjoyed season 6 like us. I think that was our number 1 season.
Yep.
And then
those were some good episodes.
Those were some really good episodes. From season 7, he has episode 8, Heart Still Beating. I remember that. Episode 10, New Best Friends. Episode 17, there was a 17th episode. Okay. First Day of the Rest of Your Life. Okay. And then from season 8, he has episode 4, Some Guy. Episode 8, The Big Scary You. He has episode 8 twice, so I don't know. But how's it going to be? Episode 14, Still Gotta Mean Something. And then season 9, episode 6, What Comes After. And then from season 10, he has episode 5, What Is It Always? Episode 10, Walk With Us. And episode 15, The Tower. He said, keep up the great work, guys. I'm a big fan of the podcast now. Oh, thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for those episodes. I actually like it. Hopefully, if everyone else is watching the show or listening to the podcast, and still love The Walking Dead, if you're like, oh, I don't feel like watching the whole series, hopefully you take some of the ones that we mentioned and you're like, oh, let me check that. Like, let me remember that episode. Because even the list that he has here, it's like, oh, I remember that, but I would like to watch it again. So thanks, Rob. All right. And we have an email today from Chantel. Hey, Chantel.
What's up, Chantel?
She goes, hey, y'all. First, let me tell you both how much I enjoyed your coverage of the finale. You kept me company while I ran my pre-Thanksgiving errands and I was cackling at the grocery store. That's a black baby had me weak. We stand by that statement. The beautiful black baby. That baby was too cute, but she was black. And she goes, I think it is so cool that you are all doing extra episodes so that we can discuss specific moments, seasons, and here are a few of mine. Okay, so she has top 5 saddest deaths. Number 5, Lori. I'm not a fan of the character at all. See, I told y'all, people did not like that character. I don't know why. But the actress did such a beautiful job in her final scene with Chandler Riggs. As much as I hated her, that scene moved me. The way her voice cracked when telling Carl to be good and that she loved him. The shaky breath she took before telling Maggie to make the incision. The way she whispered, good night, love, right before Maggie cut. Amazing.
I gotta go back and watch that again.
Yeah, well, Chantel, she will make something like, just something like that's an average, and she'll make it spectacular. So she makes it sound like it's spectacular. But I think I did have Lori's death. Yeah, it was in my honorable mentions. Remember, I mean, we kind of listed different reasons, but still came to the same conclusion. Number 4, Noah. Okay, so at least he made her list. Not as high up as mine, but he made her list. He goes, how? She goes, he went through so much in such a short period of time. I feel like he was killed right after finally beginning to find his footing. He allowed himself to dream of a future and set the wheels in motion to achieve that dream by talking to Reg about being an apprentice. He had a bright future and he died because of someone else's cowardice. And the way he died, holy crap.
It was gruesome, but...
You about to downplay it.
You're right. It was gruesome.
Yeah.
I'll leave it there.
Yeah, leave it there because it was gruesome.
Okay. You know I gotta go in. Yeah, it was gruesome, but like I said before, they didn't develop him enough for me. Yeah, I loved him on Everybody Hates Chris, but they didn't show us enough on The Walking Dead for me to say, damn, I wish this guy would have stayed around.
He's like a character, like if I see him on something, I'll just watch it. Like Abbott Elementary, I was already gonna watch, but he's on there and I'm just like, yeah, I'll watch anything he's on. I think he was on like CSI, whatever, back in the day, watched it. Him and Matt Damon, I just watch their movies. They're just characters. They're people I like seeing acting on the screen. I'll just watch whatever they do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She has number 3, Herschel. This death was the first one that made me lose my shit. I didn't start watching The Walking Dead until a few weeks before season 6 aired. Oh, wow. I wanted to catch up and watch in real time, so I had to power through it. When I was doing laundry, I watched. When I got ready for work in the morning, I watched. When I was cooking dinner, I watched. I was so invested in the story. So there I was, having my morning coffee and getting ready to head into the office when the governor beheaded Herschel. I literally started yelling, no, kill him, Rick, fucking kill him. I rode into the office with my sunglasses on, seriously in shock and in mourning. My admin and another coworker who were part of the reason why I decided to finally start watching the show and required daily updates about where I was in my binge session, took one look at me and said, Herschel. My lip quivered and I mumbled, yeah. Went into my office and closed the door. It was a rough day. Chantel, you were such a good writer. Because even this, like, just your story, retelling it, I'm already picturing you in the office. Like, I pictured that whole scene right now in my head.
Yeah.
Very good details there. Yeah, Herschel was sad, but it was so quick.
It wasn't.
When he chopped the head off?
Because remember, he didn't chop it fully off at first. The knife got stuck, not even halfway through.
Ew, when he was still alive?
Yeah.
Oh, but he couldn't have felt anything at that point.
No, he could. It was painful, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh. If he could feel it, that means he could see it. To see your head halfway off.
Oh. I mean, his head wasn't hanging over. You just saw the blade.
Like, the blade. Yes,
with
yes,
a
yeah.
third through it.
The governor was sick, man. Sick man.
And they should have known right then he wasn't that powerful. Because Michonne would have took the head clean off. Right.
She would have. We seen her do it. Okay, number 2, Glenn. See, and the reason why Glenn didn't make my list is because the fake out. So by the time I mourned him in his fake death, I mourned him just like how you described Herschel. I mourned Glenn like that the first time. The second time, it was still sad. I'm in shock, but I already mourned him, so.
That wasn't the case with me. Well, it was a case. And I think that's what made the death more spectacular, because we already mourned him before. Mm-hmm. So the second time, with that fake out, well, the first time was like a punch in the gut. The second time was like...
Oh, yeah, they faked out twice with Glenn.
Yeah.
Because once Nicholas shot him, quote unquote, well, he did shoot him, or right? Or it seemed like he killed him.
Yeah.
And then the dumpster.
Yeah, so after the second one, you know, I was like, okay, they can't. It doesn't matter if they killed Glenn now. Yeah. We already mourned him twice.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, well, Chantel says, hold up. Okay, go ahead.
But what made this was more meaningful is because we mourned him twice already. And looking how Negan killed him in front of his family, eye hanging out of his head. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was Maggie, crazy. I'll find you. Oh,
it was crazy.
So young, just starting his life, starting it out,
yeah.
you know?
So I was able to mourn him again. So that's the crazy part about it.
Yeah. Well, Chantel says, what can I say about Glenn's death? It was a horrific death for such a loving character. He was too good for that world, honestly. He risked his life to save Rick, kept Lori's secret, killed Saviors so Struggle Braids didn't have to, went after Enid when he could have hightailed it home to see what was going on, and took old pathetic Nicholas under his wing after Nicholas tried to kill him. All of that goodness was ended by an egomaniac's bat in the most brutal way. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a sad one.
Yep.
I remember how shocking it was. Mm-hmm. I remember, man, it turned my world over probably the rest of that week.
Yeah, it was pretty. I think everybody was sad. Those episodes, them killing those Saviors in their sleep, and then after we find out who gets killed by the bat, I feel like it was quiet. Not quiet. Social media was buzzing, but everyone was kind of quiet internally. It was just, you had to mourn it. You had to sit with it and think about it. So, yeah. And number one, you'll be very surprised who she has as number one. I think. Because I am. She has Tyrese as her saddest death.
It can't be the reason we think.
She said his character felt so familiar, his need to protect people, his love for his sister and his found family, and his desire to do the right thing all remind me of my brother John. Oh, that is sweet. That is sweet.
Okay.
I just loved him. His final episode was so brilliantly written, shot, and acted. From the flashes of seeing random scenes in the cold open to the reveal in the end that those flashes are actually what is going through his mind as he dies is just masterful. Additionally, the little things they did in some of the scenes, like showing Rick, Michonne, Glenn, and Noah fighting the walkers in slow motion from Ty's perspective as he is bleeding out, got me. What completely shattered me was the burial scene. Sasha was so obviously in shock, she could barely handle the shovel. As Rick began to fill the grave in, a clump of dirt made the sheet fall away from Ty's face, just enough for us to see his forehead. As the episode faded away, they didn't play the theme music. The only thing we heard beside my muffled sobs was Rick shoveling dirt into Ty's grave. Wow. I mean, damn. I'm going to go back and watch the episode now. Because, I'm sad. Right. You just made me sad. I'm like, damn, I don't even remember doing all that. Because I thought he died too easily. He just got bit on the arm, it felt like. And...
But I knew it wasn't for the reasons that we thought.
What would you think?
I mean, I couldn't think of a reason. I was thinking, how?
Yeah. But I like her reason. I like her explanation. It was really good. All right, she has honorable mentions. The ones who had their heads put on pikes, the way they showed them all fighting for one another while Sadiq... hot, she has, told the story of what happened was so well done. My heart was pounding, and I was so sad to lose Tara and Enid specifically. Yeah. She has Sasha. She made the ultimate sacrifice, and what she did gave our group a moment to act. Carl saw her, blinked, and started shooting. That helped turn the tide in that battle and gave our group a chance to fight. Jesus and Maggie looking for her to put her down, while we had the voiceover of Maggie talking about how it all started with Glenn. So good. Yeah, that was a good episode. Especially because it kept going back to her, she was thinking of Abraham, Sasha, when she had the music on.
Yeah.
So, and she has Jesus. So unnecessary. I feel like this character was just hitting his stride and would have been nice to see Aaron find love again. Yeah. But did they confirm Jesus? I guess they did. Somebody might have, yeah, maybe they did confirm Jesus was gay. I just don't remember.
Oh, yeah, I think they might have.
Yeah. Because we didn't see him with anyone, so. Sadiq. Why? Just why? I was mad. I was mad when Sadiq got killed. I'm like, damn, he just had a baby. I was angry. I was just so angry that guy came in. And...
That wasn't his baby.
That was scary. That guy came in and ruined their life for no reason. So, yeah.
And that was a sad scene. Because it seemed like the guy was more hurt. Well, you can't be more hurt than the guy you're killing.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to kill him.
Yeah. He's like, I don't want to do this, but...
He had to. Well, he didn't have to.
Yeah.
But Sadiq found out who he was.
Yeah. All right, she actually did a top 5 of worst episodes, so here we go.
Let's go.
5. Here's Not Here. Oh, yep. Oh, my gosh. I don't think I'll ever watch Here's Not Here again. I don't think I'll ever watch that. She goes, I think this was an excellent episode, but I don't see myself ever rewatching it. Yep. I love Lenny James, and it was lovely to see how he obtained his mindset. That said, it seemed to move too slowly. Maybe because it was the first episode, I think, after Glenn was knocked off of the dumpster, and I was super anxious to find out what the F happened to him, or maybe it was because it was just slow. I don't know, but it is on my do not rewatch list. No, it's on, I think, everybody's do not rewatch list.
Yeah.
4. The Carol, Daryl, Buddy episodes. Sometimes, yeah.
Like when they're getting alone?
Yeah, like when they're hanging out, when they're on their mission.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So even though you said Carol and Daryl are your favorite characters, so maybe you would like, them together.
I like Carol episodes. I like them together. I just don't like the Daryl episodes, the solo ones.
Yeah.
We only got 2, but
when he carries the episode, it's too much. Yeah. She has 3. Any episode that featured the Reapers after they lost their bite. They started off as a pretty formidable enemy, but they petered out, in the end. I can't help but wonder if the writers would have scraped that storyline had they known that season 11 would be their last. What Reapers? Oh, is that what the variant walkers are? Because I think someone did call them Reapers. Or am I tripping? No, I'm not. I am tripping. Because she says any episode that featured the Reapers after they lost their bite. What does that mean?
She's talking about the group, the Reapers.
There's a group called Reapers? I gotta Google this real quick.
Yeah, it's a group called the Reapers.
Oh, was it the group that got killed on the Pikes as well, right? Because we were just looking at that. They're the ones that Carol and them found.
No, the Reapers. No, the Reapers are the group. Reapers are the group that took Maggie's spot.
Yeah,
and
Leah.
Maggie came back to us to get help.
Yes, Leah's people. Leah and her people. Okay, my bad.
We were like, I'll wait for you to... Okay.
Yeah, it took me a minute to get that one. I'm like, I don't know who the Reapers are.
I thought you had it.
Well, I guess I literally forgot about them. They didn't even make it or be considered for villains. I forgot about that whole storyline, even though it just happened. Completely forgot about it. Because it seems like we've been in Commonwealth for so long now. So, okay. Yeah, and I agree with you, because clearly I forgot about him, Chantel.
You know what? The Reaper story just didn't make any sense, because we got 2 separate stories. Mm-hmm. Remember when Maggie came back, the people that was going after her, it didn't seem like that was the same people that was on the other end of it.
Right.
Because remember, the guy came back and said,
he'll never stop looking for you.
Yeah, he'll never stop looking for you. But it's only 3 of y'all.
Yeah. And then they were some weird cult, or they were doing using religion to do their violence. Remember? He was in the name of Jesus and kill somebody. What?
Yeah, but what I mean by the other character also, it was 3 different characters. Because remember the mask.
Yeah.
There was a group of them with the mask on. Then it was the 6 that was at the town or whatever.
Yeah, they were a hot mess. She has 2, anything that focused on Alpha / the Whispers. Yep, I agree. Every episode of Alpha. I mean, I almost was prejudiced towards Lydia because I had to stop myself from being prejudiced. I'm like, her mama. But I'm like, okay, it's not her fault that her mama's the way she is. Don't judge this little girl. But yeah, I did not like Alpha. And then she has, and number 1, any governor focus episode. before and after the fall of Woodbury. I didn't mind the governor as a character, but he was not interesting enough to carry episodes. I like the governor in season 3. In season 4, when he's like, sad governor, I lost all my people, blah, blah, blah. I'll just start a new family over here. Like, I didn't care for that governor, but I liked the governor when he was over.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like him, but I liked that storyline. All right, and then she does have her best episodes and special moments. So we'll do first best episodes. We'll go this quickly because I know we are running. Well, we can take our time. She says this isn't any particular order, and I have a ton more I could list, but here goes. She has 1, The Grove. I want to go back to our list because either we had The Grove at one point, and then I think we cut it. I remember writing The Grove down.
Yeah, I think you had it.
Yeah. I don't know. Let me see what The Grove was about because I remember writing it down. She says, this episode was so amazing. Honestly, the way they crafted all the episodes after the fall of the prison was so good. But this episode where Ty, Carol, Lizzie, Mika, and Judith almost found a place of peace, only to have it all crashing down around them was so good. We watched Lizzie descend into madness as we fell more in love with her baby sister, only to have her kill Mika and reveal she was about to kill Judith. Damn. And the fact that Carol immediately knew what needed to be done. The scene after Carol executed Lizzie and confessed to Tyrese was so good. Both actors played the hell out of it. Yes. Yep, they did. And this, we talked about this because this was in our top deaths for Lizzie and Mika.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I need to go back and watch the episode again because I remember when Carol, like, put the gun on the table and she lets Tyrese know and is like, what do you want to do? Like, you know, you're going to kill me and I guess you'll be raising these 2 kids by yourself, a baby and 2 kids. Or are we gonna move on? And Tyrese was able to move on. I mean, I think if she would have told him a month before or after it, no, he would have killed her. He might have even beat her to death because remember how angry he was? That's how Rick and him ended up getting a fight. Because Tyrese was like, I'm about to kill somebody. And Rick was like, yo, calm down, calm down. Even though Rick would have been acting the same way if it was one of his people. But
you know what? Carol was actually a villain that season.
Yeah, they did make Carol a villain. Because I remember when we found out, we're like, oh, that's so wrong. How could she do that? I'm so like, it was like you were disappointed. And now you look at Carol completely like she's a badass. So, I mean, yeah, and she
we know she'll Carol.
Yeah, she'll Carol.
From time to time.
Yeah. All right, 2. Seed. I remember reading about this episode too, so I think we had it somewhere on our list. She goes, I love how this episode opened. It was after the fall of the farm, and everyone comes in looking fit and badass. The way they took the prison like a well-oiled machine, and then were hit with Herschel getting bit and finding the inmates. Such a great episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the inmates. Yep. Because I think I was going to put the inmate that Rick puts this axe in his head. You know, when they first get to the prison, they meet the guys, the other prisoners and everything, or they meet the prisoners, and that guy tried to, like, make Rick bump into a walker to get killed.
Yeah.
That almost made my, like, top death list, but it got removed. I think it was an honorable mention. All right, 3, No Way Out. I love the tension in this episode. It was the first episode where I realized that I actually cared about Carl. After he was shot and said, Dad, child, I was shook.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
Yeah, great episode. Michonne clearing the way to get Carl to Denise and then going back out to fight with Rick and all the Alexandrias finally growing a pair and going out to fight. It was so good. I have goosebumps as I type. Yeah, that was a really good episode. And she has 4, Last Day on Earth. I know that there are people who had an issue with the cliffhanger at the end of this episode, but I thought it was amazing from start to finish. This was the first time that our group faced roadblocks at every turn, and you could see the panic slowly setting over each character each time they met one. At first, Rick was very Rick. He was confident, almost cocky. He told Maggie everything would be fine because they would make it fine, that they could do anything together. He even shit-talked Simon, asking him what if today was his last day on Earth. The first roadblock was almost an annoyance. Same with the second one. When they came to the walkers wearing Daryl's vest and one of Michonne's locks, the fear became palatable. I remember having to pace around my living room. I was so nervous. For the first time, our group was on the back foot. I remember going into work the next day, and it was all anyone in the mailroom debating over who Negan killed. A bunch of people in suits standing around saying eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and pointing while trying to figure out who was there and who the bat landed on. Yeah, I remember everyone guessing that. Like, okay, doing a lineup. Like, okay, the bat, it looked like based on his angle. Like, everyone was doing, like, serious science analysis, to figure out who he hit. Trying to figure out who the bat landed on. This episode is also special to me because it is the reason why I started looking for the Walking Dead podcast. It's how I found you guys. Oh, that's great. That's great. Is.
I mean, I can just see that episode right now. Mm-hmm. Like, I could picture every word she was saying. That was one of my favorite. In fact, that was that our number one?
Yes, actually, yes. Number one. Any Meaning My Mo, the introduction to Negan. Yep. That was our number one episode.
Yep.
And then 5 Days Gone By. It's the pilot episode. Respect must be paid to it. That's what I said. It was supposed to be like on our list of favorite episodes. And then we ended up saying, let's just remove it because everyone knows that episode. Everyone loves that episode. It's just universally loved. So let's not like waste a spot on an episode we all know we love. So, and then her final part is 5 special scenes / moments. One is she's like, I couldn't pick my top ones, but these are all the ones that stood out to me, not in any particular order. 1, Rick and Michonne decide to have a baby for the future. Y'all, I cannot wait until he sees RJ.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be dope.
Yeah, he's gonna be crying for other reasons.
Yeah. 2, Abraham and Eugene say goodbye before Eugene takes the RV to try to throw the saviors off. The music was so good, and the misdirection they're making us think Eugene was a goner was clever. I don't even remember that scene, and I'm gonna say Eugene was a goner. Like, he was on the savior side. Eugene, in the end, yes, he did come back and everything like that, but...
Well, she's talking, like, before that. Because did they take him right then?
Oh, no. Now I remember a scene. I know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
So when they were trying to throw the saviors off their tail or whatever.
Like, everywhere they went, there was a tree down.
Yeah, and then Eugene took the RV while everyone else, I think, went on foot to try to take Maggie to, back to the hilltop or wherever they were trying to go. So that's what she meant. Okay, I do now remember that. Eugene, because remember when they got there, Eugene's sitting there crying. The saviors already had him. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, which rightfully so.
Why is it rightfully so?
I mean, I'm just trying not to make fun of Eugene too much in this final, in this final one here.
Yeah. But when we saw him, we were like, of course.
Of course. There he is. Of course. Nah. All right, 3. Noah at Deanne's party. Noah had gone through a lot and fairly quickly. He wasn't comfortable at the party, and Glenn and Maggie noticed. They asked him what was wrong, and he said he was leaving. Glenn told him he couldn't leave because they all had to face the party together. And Maggie told him, "You're here with us now. You're here with family."
I want to say something about Noah since everyone keeps mentioning him. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to be kind of, rude about it or mean about Noah, but they just didn't develop Noah enough for me. I know everyone still loves him from Everybody Hates, or what is it? Everyone Hates Chris.
Everyone Hates Chris.
Everyone Hates Chris. And what's the...
CSI now, he's on Abbott, which I think comes out.
Pretty good show.
Yep.
But on The Walking Dead, he didn't really exist. His character wasn't a character. It seems like they threw him in there just to kill him. He was an extra. He was an extended extra.
He was a big enough face that people would like seeing him.
He was a big enough name where he could be an extra with talking lines.
Yes. Yeah.
That's it. I mean, nothing about...
I wouldn't really call him an extra.
Nothing about his character was amazing.
I liked his character. I liked him. I liked Noah.
It was like we saw him. He was in the hospital in a wheelchair. Boom. Then he
saved Beth, or tried to save Beth. He's the one that got people back to know where Beth's location was.
Yeah.
I mean, he did a lot.
But yeah, he did okay. He just wasn't a strong enough character for me to ever mention him again.
All right. One thing about that scene, though, that with Chantel bringing up is that I also liked, this is the scene with the party, and then that lady was talking to what's her name?
Sasha. Hold on, before you continue, mm-hmm. I pulled up the Walking Dead cast, and guess who's not on there?
Whatever. I mean, is T-Dog on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, T-Dog's on there.
Tyrese?
Saeed's on there.
No, not Saeed. Sadiq. We always keep calling him Saeed.
Yeah, Sadiq is on there. But yeah, you're absolutely right. They don't have... How you not have Tyrese?
See? There we go. They can put everybody on there. Noah was a great character, but I remember that party because Sasha, that lady, was coming up to Sasha and she's like, "What's your favorite meal? I'd be worried if I made you the wrong dish." And Sasha went off on her. She's like, "You be worried? That's what you be worried about?" Everyone's like, "Calm the fuck down, Sasha." Like, she didn't know how to go back into civilization. It's like, this is what, like, I'm pretty sure it's probably equivalent. Like, if we went to, like, a Hollywood party today or something, like one of those rich parties, it'd probably be out of our realm of what we're comfortable with. And it might be like, wait, this is what you guys are doing at this party? But in a way, I felt her, but at the same time, when it happened originally, I was like, Sasha, calm down, like, chill. Doesn't have to all be trauma, but... All right, 4. She has Glenn proposes / marries Maggie. I have always loved how simple his proposal was and have always thought of that scene as their wedding, too. It was so simple and pretty. Such a contrast to the ugliness that we were all facing at that time. Merle had taken Michonne to deliver her to the governor. They knew an attack was imminent. Walkers were milling around about. Yet here these two people were committing to one another. Love it. Like, I got chills. Actual chills.
Really?
Yeah, that was sweet. Because I don't even remember when he proposed.
Yeah, that was nice. It was nice.
I just remember, I think we, like she mentioned, I don't think we saw the wedding. Because I remember an audience kept saying, like, wait, did they get married? We didn't even see it. Did they get married? And it was like, well, how would they have gotten married, like officially married? I mean, they could have had a little ceremony, but it didn't show it.
It was nice.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't watch Walkng Dead for the lovey-dovey.
Okay.
Watch it for the action, baby.
All right. Watch for the action. Or you come for the action, but stay for the love. All right. And then 5, when the group is setting things up to deal with the quarry walkers, Maggie tells Tara what happened with Nicholas, how he basically killed Noah and tried to kill Glenn. Tara was understandably upset and I believe wanted to kill Nicholas. Maggie explained that everyone is redeemable. She told Tara that she was on the other side of the fence on the worst day of Maggie's life, but that now Tara was one of the most important people in the world to her. That gave me chills too, or maybe I'm cold. I don't know, but I feel like that gave me chills because I remember that. And then it's kind of, I don't know, is it kind of wrong for Maggie to bring up Tara's past? Like, in that moment, you know, to be like, well, Tara, don't judge Nicholas because you did some bad shit too. Like, is that, it feels a little, like, seeing it written out, it kind of just feels a little wrong, but.
Yeah, if you think about it like that.
Yeah.
And we already know that everyone is not redeemable. Well, I guess everybody is redeemable, but everybody's not forgivable.
Yeah. Because obviously, like, Negan he's redeemed himself in some ways, but there are going to be people or victims of his crimes that are going to be like, no, I don't care that he's a changed man, you know?
Picture in the future, there's going to be people that's going to be shocked by knowing what Negan did.
Yeah, knowing, like, no, Negan did that. I was just talking to you about the whole Snoop Dogg because there's been a lot of TikToks lately and like people don't know Snoop Dogg's past and they just think of him like, you know, Snoop Dogg. He's doing commercials with Martha Stewart.
The fun uncle.
Yeah. And no one knows his
uncle.
past. And they were like, yeah, Snoop Dogg was on trial for murder. And the new generation, they're like, what? No, how would he be on trial for murder? So it kind of reminds me of that. Like, yeah, 20 years from now, people are going to be like, oh, there goes Sweet Negan. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
And there's going to be like an old Daryl. Like, nah, let me tell you what he did back in the day. So.
Yep. No, not my Negan.
Yeah. Okay, this is a lot. I can go on with villains, characters, seasons, loose ends, but I'm stopping here. I think a couple of what ifs for your I'll think of a couple what ifs for your next pod. I cannot wait to hear everyone else's top 5s. Have a fabulous week, Verdicts and Fam. Chantel.
Thank you, Chantel.
Yeah, thanks, Chantel. And yeah, I started debating if we were going to do what ifs, but I think it would be interesting to still do one and sort of talk about, not have too many. Maybe each of us just have 1 to 2 what ifs, like what 2 things would you change or whatever, you know, because if not, it can go on forever if we do like a whole bunch of like, what if this didn't happen? What if this?
Right.
So pick some like 2 big ones that you're like, okay, what if this moment didn't happen that you think changed the trajectory of the show? Thank you so much, Chantel, for writing in. And now we have an email from Tiffany. All right, and Tiffany writes, hey, Walkng Dead crew. I'm over here sniffling, and it has nothing to do with the never-ending Walking Dead universe, LOL. Mostly, I'm going to miss everyone and all the Twitter talks and inside jokes, like struggle braids, Alpha saying, daughter, with that crazy accent, Negan doing yoga like back bends while taking Scott Gimple, destroying every Walking Dead property he touches.
Man.
She says, like Donald Trump, LOL. Miss Gloria having something to say. Yes, your mom should have wrote in for this final part.
Yeah, she should have.
Yeah. Okay.
You hear that, Mom?
Yep. Miss Gloria, did you hear that? She says, okay, well, I guess I should get to my top moments. Most of them will probably be from The Walking Dead before Negan, but there might be a couple of honorable mentions. And I get it, the before Negan, because even I think on our final our best episodes were mostly before. All of them were pretty much at the start of Negan or before.
Yeah.
And there was some good stuff in between. No, we did do season 9. Season 9 wasn't our favorite as well, but that's it.
Yeah, that was our number 2.
Yeah, somewhere on the list.
Yeah.
Or she goes, number 5, episodes 1 and 2. So this reason why I cheated right off the bat and made 2 episodes my number 5 is because these 2 episodes really kicked off a different type of nerd love inside me that I didn't know was there. I became totally obsessed with zombies and a potential zombie apocalypse. I started soft preparing in case it happens and read all these zombie books and movies. If you want a book to try to read, World War Z, not the movie one, although I enjoy the movie as well. I've heard the movie and the book are completely different. Like everyone that's read the book, they're like, the World War Z movie is not that, it's not the book. So I do want to read the book.
So she said episode 1.
Episode 1 and 2, of season.
So No Sanctuary.
Season 5.
No Sanctuary is episode 1.
Oh no, I'm sorry. This is her number 5. So she actually means episodes 1 and 2 of season 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the very beginning. Rick waking up and everything like that. Okay.
Oh yeah, classics.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I didn't even start this got turned. Well, she has a little bit more, but I didn't start getting into like zombie movies and all that. I mean, I watched like the 28 Days Later, but generally I never watch scary movies for the most part. I'm getting a little more open to it now. But watching Walking Dead, I had no intentions of watching because I'm like, oh, I don't do scary stuff. And then I remember coworkers just kept telling me like, no, it's not scary. Go ahead and watch. Like, you'll love it. And I think we started watching somewhere around when season 3 was airing. I feel like season 3 or like, I don't think I watched live The Walking Dead until season 3 or 4. Somewhere around there is when I start watching live.
Probably around season 4. Mm-hmm. And we went back.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yep.
What was the first season we podcast on?
Season 6.
Oh, okay.
No, season 5. I don't know. Because now I'm like, did we podcast on that or did we just watch it? So I'll have to look. But she goes, the first episode of Rick waking up and having to figure it out, I would propose that to friends as an opening to combos. And I believe episode 2 was the introduction of Glenn. And I think that's when they snuck through the streets with the zombie guts. I feel like we met fun characters, Daryl T-Dog and T-Dog in episode 2. And it really set off my love for the show. I think I started reading all kinds of articles and following blogs about it. I wouldn't discover podcasts for a few more years. LOL. Yep.
Yeah. And the name of, the name of episode 2 is Guts.
Oh, yeah. So
funny,
she's right.
Yeah, it's funny she mentioned that.
Yep.
And episode 1 is Days Gone By.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's one of the most positive things about The Walking Dead is bringing people that may not have been into zombies or even considered watching a show about zombies into that world. And then also apocalypse like shows. Like, so now I keep reading apocalypse books, but it doesn't have anything to do with zombies. But I'm just loving it. I'm reading After It Happened. If you guys want to check out any of that, there's like, I don't know how many books there are. I'm on book 3 or 4 audiobook. And then The Last Tribe is the other post-apocalyptic book that I read. Once again, both of them, no zombies or anything like that. Last Tribe, very PG, clean, happy, just nice, happy, something similar to the my mind went blank, but it was a show that just recently came out on HBO last year that was like a post-apocalyptic show, and it got a lot of good reviews as well because it was no deaths. It was, or if there was, it was nothing, crazy, no one violent or that much. So really into a post-apocalyptic movies and shows that aren't always about like everyone killing each other. Just people surviving is exciting to kind of watch.
Was it iZombie?
No, the one from, it's a Station 11 or 11 Station. I want to say it's called Station 11. It got really great ratings on HBO. I thought it was okay, but if you want to watch like that type of world ending, but it's no zombies and it's kind of no trauma, not that much trauma, then I suggest that show. I haven't watched iZombie, but we also did watch Black Summer, another zombie show. Really, really good. Just can't speak about it enough. All right, and then she has now Number 4, she has season 2, Sophia in the barn. Okay. She said this episode was really emotional, finding Sophia in the barn, the way Shane and stupid Andrea tried to be hardcore and throw open the doors and shoot all the zombies, and then the final zombie shambling out is Sophia. The way Carol collapses and cries, and honestly, I think it's the last time we see her cry when I think back on it. That whole episode was just super deep and very nicely shot. Rick having to step in and be the person who actually ends up killing Sophia, my heart.
Yeah, I remember that episode like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And she came out like much later than the rest of the
Yeah,
zombies.
everyone was already out. Because that was when Shane was like on his thing and he was like, y'all got walkers in the barn. Da-da-da.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when I don't know, at least me, I don't think we kind of liked Herschel back then. Because remember, well, Herschel didn't know them. They were strangers. Remember, he didn't even let them sleep in the house. He was like, y'all got to get off my property soon. Like, he wanted them gone, which I get because the farm got overran eventually. But even when they found Sophia and the other walkers in the barn, he's like, the other guy might have put him there. I don't know. Like, he was just kind of like dismissing it. And it just made me not like Herschel back then.
And it's crazy because was she alive when she went in there?
No, that'd be sick. No,
but remember that they were questioning at the time.
Well, no, because the reason why they were keeping the walkers is because they thought they could return.
Right, but no, I'm saying they was questioning Sophia at the time. They was like, they don't know when she got in there.
Oh, okay. Like, there's no way she could have been in there alive. Like, that means her body would have been destroyed if all those walkers were in there. She went in there alive.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You would think.
Yeah.
But you know the Walking Dead. Yeah,
no. If they try to throw that and, like, change him, like, yeah, Sophia actually went in there alive. No, I wouldn't believe it. Because look at Lori. Lori, there was, like, nothing left of her. The walker ate her all. So.
Right.
All right, she has number 3, season 5, I think episode 1, Rick and company escape/fight Terminus people. Yes. After being stuck in the train car and then being pulled out and having to have their throat slashed into a damn cow trough, they escape. I will be honest. It's a little fuzzy, but I remember maybe this being the first time Carol went full badass. She had already murdered folks at the prison, but this was a little different to me. She snuck in and was sniping people all around their train depot. I remember it being full of action and just a great way to start the season.
Yeah, Carol was badass.
Yeah, that's when we were like, what? Because we knew Carol. The only thing we saw before that with Carol, serious, is she killed Karen David. And even then we remember it was like a mystery who killed Karen David. And then, of course, she had to kill Lizzie, and we understood that. And we're like, damn, that's so unfortunate. And then when she went badass, this was the start of, this is the new Carol, you know?
Yeah.
She had on the Walker blood.
It was actually the start of a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I'm talking outside of Walking Dead. Because Carol was, if you think about it, one of the first badass women of television as far as just the role she played, as far as the role that she's in, as far as a community type. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but if you think about it, before Carol, I mean, yeah, you had movies where you had...
because I was just going to say the
Angelina
lady from
Jolie
Terminator.
Or, the Terminator and stuff like that. But I'm talking television where...
Wasn't there like a Nikita series, though, or something? And then like a Xena?
Yeah, but I'm not talking about just series already started badass. This is what you do. You're undercover. You this, that, the other. I mean, Carol's supposed to be a regular person.
Right.
And that's what I'm talking about. She was the start of that. She was just a regular person
that became badass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite episodes, actually. Like, I just remember we were just like, this is amazing. The episode, the whole time, I just remember that feeling that we had while watching. So, and then she goes, number 2, season 5, it's the last episode. Aaron meets the group. The group enters Alexandria. I remember Aaron giving this crazy speech and Rick walking up to him and knocking him out. I know it was funny at the time, but I was cracking the hell up. She said they were so hardcore at this point.
Yeah.
They had lost so much. They escaped Terminus, survived the fall of the prison and the stupid governor. Herschel's farm fell. The CDC was a bust. I think this is the episode where they almost go attacked by wild dogs. Oh yeah, I remember that. And that was on the way to Alexandria. But Maggie just shot them each and they ended up eating. I think it was Sasha that shot them. Because remember, that was when Sasha was in her like sad mode. She was very sad. It was after Bob and everything like that. And Tyrese, remember Tyrese never made it to Alexandria. So it was after Bob, after Tyrese, and Sasha was on her downward spiral. And I believe but I don't know, I could be wrong. She said it was Maggie. I thought it was Sasha. She said, I love the end of this scene of them both open the door to Alexandria and Rick kind of being the last to enter, holding little baby ass kicker. Aaron's boyfriend is like, we need to go turn over your weapons. And Rick is like, if you don't start no shit, it won't be no shit. So no, we're not turning over our weapons. And Aaron's like, let them meet Diana and Abraham. Basically, don't even let them finish because he's like, who's Diana? Oh my God, I'm cracking up. I have to go find that on YouTube. Be back. She said, okay, glad I went back and had to adjust some errors. She had totally forgot about the doors closing on Alexandria and Rick. And Rick says, Sasha, and she turns around and takes out a walker as the doors close. So effing good. That whole episode was great. They were tight-knit. Yeah, it was. Remember, they all slept in the same house. Rick and Michonne and Rick were starting to give each other the eye. Yeah, actually, I thought, if I remember, you didn't like when he was like Sasha, and then Sasha turned around and shot that one walker. I remember when we were watching, you're like, that was corny. Like, you didn't like that. Or do you remember that?
I don't remember. I remember the scene she's talking about, and it was a badass scene. But probably at the moment, you know.
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
You judged it.
Yeah, I probably was judgy.
And just hearing about Eric and everything like that, what I remember is when they finally met up. It might have been an episode before this. I can't recall, but they met up and Aaron and Eric got separated, and they finally meet up. And Rick is like, "Y'all staying apart." And then Aaron was like, "You're going to have to shoot me to keep me away from him." And everyone's like, "Yo, Rick, calm down. Just let him be with him." Like, you know, and I was like, yeah. I loved Aaron from the very moment we met him. Just automatically was like, yep, that's Aaron. All right, and then number 1, season 5/6 maybe. She said, you already know the episode I'm going to say. When Rick finds out there is no one guarding the sniper tower in Alexandria. It's one line, and I cannot find it anywhere, but I clearly remember Sasha rolling up and being like, hey, I will help guard it. It was deep in the dictatorship, and honestly, it was kind of working. I think Carol, Sasha, and Daryl had to make a plan to steal the guns and stash them outside of Alexandria, and that's when Carol had to threaten that kid over some cookies. I just felt this whole Alexandria arc was so good. There were so many unexpected twists and turns.
I agree.
Yeah. Season 5 was so good. I mean, we got to Alexandria. We finally felt safe. And remember, even Michonne was like, what did you hear outside the Governor's? What did you hear, or Woodbury? What did you hear outside Terminus? He's like, nothing. And then they get to Alexandria, and you actually hear, like, kids playing. You hear life being had, you know.
Yeah.
So I loved when they were at Alexandria at the season 5, before the Saviors came and ruined everything. So she goes, okay, some honorable mentions. I say this because I might remember the moment, but not exactly what led up to it or what happened right after. So sometimes it's like it has to no context. So I'm going to call them honorable mentions instead of the episodes. Okay, cool. 5. When Shane beats up Carol's husband, he so deserved it. That's it.
He did.
Yep, we just talked about it. But remember, Shane, like I said, Shane beat the husband up because he was pissed off about something going on, I think, with Lori or Rick. And then when he saw Carol's husband, he's like, man, I'm about to jack him up. Like, it was some underlying
Well, when he
issues.
saw Carol's face, I think Lori saw Carol's face. Like, Carol had a black eye or something.
Maybe.
So I think Lori saw his face, or her face.
Yeah.
And she was upset about it.
And then he went and dealt with it.
Well, it's two different situations. Because remember, she had the black eye and everything, or a swollen. It was something that was wrong with her face at the time when she was sitting there laughing, washing the clothes with the ladies. Mm-hmm. And he came over, what y'all laughing about?
Oh, yeah. Yep. What y'all laughing about? Yep. And they're like, we're just having a good time. And Andrea said that to him. We're just having a good time. I did not like Andrea. Now, that's a character I didn't care for, but...
I loved Andrea, the character.
No, she was just so, like, trying... Like, it's like the zombie apocalypse happened. She's like, okay, I'm going in straight badass mode. Like, this is my moment. Remember, she, like, wanted the gun right away. I mean, not judging. I guess I am judging her, but I didn't care for Alexandria. And then the way she's, like, seems like the type of friend that would, like, put a boy in front of you. Because, remember, Michonne kept telling her, like, yo, this governor dude ain't right. Something ain't right about him. She was still like,
see, that's why you didn't like him.
Yeah, that is why I didn't like. And then it's like everything else she did, I side-eyed. Because it's like, wait, Michonne was with you. You guys like developed a good relationship and you just let her leave on her own. And then when she tells you, hey, they came after me and tried to kill me after I left, every time when Michonne told her something, she would question her like, wait, are you sure? Really? Like, come on. Don't question everything I say.
I mean, you need details.
Nah.
I mean, this right here, the governor was her man. And you telling me Michonne just gonna say, hey, your man looked at me. And she's supposed to believe it?
Yeah, I mean,
Where were you at the time?
Yeah.
What were you doing? How do you know he was looking at you? Who was around you?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Nah, but you're right, though. Yeah, she was tripping. She tripped over that governor.
Number 4, she said the first few episodes at the prison before the governor, when it was just sick people and how to live when your body has had medicine its whole life, and now you're battling Z-blood and like the Walking Dead version of COVID.
Basically.
Yes. Now we're gonna talk. If we're gonna talk about extras, that was the extra where the guy from Everybody Hates Chris. It was actually not Noah, of course, not him, not Chris, or the guy that plays Chris, Tyler. It was his friend from the show. And the episode, one of the episodes ends while they're at the prison, and we see him like coughing or he's dying like from his sickness, right? I don't know, I'm remembering this wrong, but I feel like he was dying from his sickness, and then or he wakes up from his sickness, and that's how the episode ends. And then like the next episode, we see all the people he wakes up from it, I think, and then he goes on a killing rampage and all the walkers, and then
Oh, you're talking about at the prison?
At the prison, yeah.
Oh, okay.
When they when they all got sick.
So you're talking about Vincent Martella?
Yeah. What was his name on Everybody Hates Chris?
Greg.
Okay. And she has 3. I will never ever forget. Just look at the flowers, Lizzie. That girl was crazy though. Carol did the right thing.
That girl was no crazier than Carol.
You're right about that one. Yeah, I mean, that was a hard decision that most people probably would not be able to make. I mean, look at Maggie. She could even kill the kid Walker a few episodes ago, barely. She finally did it when she had no choice. So Carol, all the stuff that Carol's gone through, I understand why she is the way she is. She was in an abusive relationship. She lost her. I mean, she's just been through so much, losing kid after kid after kid. I used to judge her, and I probably did up until just right this second, about her leaving Ezekiel, because I'm like, damn, Ezekiel like really loved you. You guys had a good thing, but I understand like she felt she was too broken to probably be in a relationship and be able to fuel that relationship. So I get it now.
Yeah, but you know what combination her and Lizzie would have been?
Lizzie would have been a badass.
Yeah, that would have been a hell of a combination.
Yeah. Maybe they could have I think Rick could have been able to talk to her. Like, yo, Lizzie, it's not gonna happen the way you thinking. I don't know.
I think Carol, and I hate to say it, I hate to put it out there like that, but I think Carol, how she was training them, I think she kind of messed their heads up. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I mean, she was giving them little basic training. She was telling them how to defend themselves. It was Lizzie that started cutting the rats open and feeding them to the walkers and stuff. Yeah.
But you have to think about that this was early in the apocalypse. So they weren't used to that. They weren't used to it. It's almost like the apocalypse happened and then there's someone there to explain all the bad stuff that can happen to you about it.
I think I would prefer that. Like, if the zombie apocalypse happens, we can't wait. We got to train the kids right away. Okay, this is how you hold a weapon. This is how you fight.
No, but I prefer that also. But I'm just saying that could have had a lot to do with it, because just like Carol killed the people that were sick, she was the same way. Like, hold up, my sister may not be able to survive. Let me go ahead and kill her now.
That's not why she killed her. She didn't even think she was killing her. Remember, she was like, they'll come back. She'll come back. She's like, I was just about to do Judith next. And that's when Carol was like, but the baby can't even walk yet. So.
I like my version better.
Okay. She has 2. That whole dramatic Glenn kerfuffle when he fell off the trash can and apparently didn't immediately get devoured by the zombies and could crawl to safety. I mean, that was an awesome moment, because at the time when it first happened, we didn't know that he crawled underneath the trash can. I think it was called Dumpster Gate, or it was they made a name for that situation. Because even when Rosita happened just recently, everyone's like, it's Dumpster Gate all over again.
Basically. I mean, that's a good name for it. Dumpster Gate.
And then one, so you may not know this, but for a time, I was totally Rick and Michonne's shipper. Michonne trash is what we call ourselves sometimes, LOL. When they finally kissed and just became a little family, even if it was for only like 3 episodes, I loved it. I'm a secret romance novel reader, period romances only. I read Bridgerton. I read Bridgerton in high school back in the 90s, LOL. Wow. I love Bridgerton, the show. I haven't read the books, but I like this too, because we see a few different scenes with Rochon as a lovey-dovey couple. That the night they get back together, and they were both saying like I think Michonne's like, I had a day. No, she's like, I had a day, or he had a day, and then he tells her something, and she's like, oh, you had a day. And then like they sort of hold hands. Like I can close my eyes and see that scene right in front of me. Like I just remember that scene, and then they finally kiss. And then that's the night the episode ends, where Jesus now comes into their room and says, wake up. Like, I think, and I thought that was stupid of Jesus to come in the room while they're sleeping. Remember? And they wake up and they're naked and they both have their guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I really like that. I mean, I don't know if that was the same episode or if the Jesus part came the next, at the beginning of the next, but it was very close with each other. And then there was also that day where they just had a fun day.
Because that was after they locked Jesus up or something, right?
Yes, that was after they locked Jesus up. They lost the car, blah, blah, blah. Remember, that's what she's like. He's like, I lost the car or something. Yeah. And then she's like, you had a day, or I lost a truck. So, so that was like the day they met Jesus. And then my other favorite one, when they had like a family moment, it must have been after Carl died, because I don't remember Carl there. But they take little Judith. She's like a toddler. And they just have a fun day hanging out with her. Remember Rick and Michonne, they're like, let's put our stuff down. Let's just have a fun family day.
Yeah.
Okay, so she says, I want to say 5 things that really piss me off, or the scenes I just hated. Let's go. 5. I never really paid attention to showrunners until I discovered that Scott Gimple was the person changing things in a way that was making The Walking Dead hard. I don't think I like him, y'all, and I don't want to feel that way. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I was knowing about showrunners and all that stuff before this, but you just hear so much of the people behind the scenes. Like we know, Greg Nicotero doing the makeup and everything like that, and then Scott Gimple, the showrunner, and then I forgot Angie, somebody, I forgot who the lady, Angela King, I think is her name, that came later on and started being the showrunner, I believe, or she might be a showrunner on one of the spinoffs, but. Yeah, I've heard a lot about Scott Gimple. I won't say much because I've never ran a show, and I don't want to judge. Like, I don't know. It may be harder than it looks. Like, even though I'm thinking, sometimes I'll be watching TV and I'm like, oh my gosh, I could have wrote this way better than this. Like, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, Chantel knows.
Yeah, Chantel knows. Chantel could have, Tiffany, we just need Chantel. You and Chantel could have been the showrunners, so.
Chantel, is it hard?
Yes. Is it a hard job? Tell us. All right, 4, the governor. Oh, really? She said he was stupid, his little Woodbury was stupid too, and he was creepy.
He was creepy.
I'm not sure why Andrea needed her vagina look so bad in this epoch, but blame a lot of the BS on her. And I know that's not fair, but I didn't really like Andrea that way I was supposed to. Yeah, see? Yeah. I just told you.
See, Tiffany went for it. See, I was going to say something. I said she loves some governor, but I had to stop myself. I was gonna go there.
She did it all for the D. She was willing to backstab her friend for the D. Get a zombie for the D. No. All right, number 3. So her number 3 is almost number 3 from the last one on honorable mentions. And this one is the whole dramatic Glenn Kerfuffle, or whatever, when he fell off the trash can and apparently didn't immediately get devoured by the zombies and could crawl to safety. Honestly, I would have so much respect for the show had they killed him there and not when stupid Negan arrived. So it's funny because it was in your honorable mentions, but it was also in your I hated this. So I get it. I get it.
Yeah. And it was called Dumpster Gate.
Okay.
I just looked it up, and they start calling it Dumpster Gate in 2017?
Yeah.
I'm off of it now, off the page, but yeah. So I didn't know people were calling it that.
Yeah, people hated that. Actually, if you're on Reddit or different subreddits or forums, and people talk about when they stopped watching The Walking Dead, quote unquote, everyone has their story, and a lot of people are like after the Dumpster Gate.
Yeah, that's where I saw it at Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
I looked it up. It had Dumpster Gate, then it had Reddit.
Yeah. It was after the dumpster gate, and then the second amount of people that left is after Glenn and Abraham got killed. They're like, they were just done with Negan.
Oh, 2015.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So yeah, we probably were potting. We were probably potting back then. We had to be potting at least by season 6. So, all right, number 2, killing Carl. Like, why? He was just becoming a badass who was getting tired of the adult shit, and they killed my dude.
I agree. They didn't have to kill Carl because I was starting to like Carl in that moment. Well, I liked Carl around that time, but then Carl started getting like Morgan to me. Mm-hmm. So when he started getting like Morgan, I was kind of through with him. So when they killed him, I was like, okay. But I wish they would have kept him on the path like they have Judith.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, keep him on that path, man. Now he would have been badass.
Yeah, Carl was badass in the end. I know when he was a little kid, he was getting on everybody's nerves. And I understand, like, he's a kid. But then at the same time, I mean, I've seen pictures and videos of, like, little kids from, like, the 1800s that are, like, working. Like, you know, doing actual real work at 3 and 4. So to use the excuse that he was a kid, yeah, he's a kid. But once the world changed, you got to put away those childish things. And he was doing a lot of stupid shit all the time that just made me mad. Dale, I don't want to blame him for Dale, but Dale sort of did die because Carl was fucking around with that walker and it came back and ended up killing Dale back at the farm. So, yeah. And he killed the little boy. I mean, he did a lot of shit, but
Carl's been through a lot also.
Yeah.
He lost his dad. Then his dad came back.
He thought his dad died. Then he thought his dad's best friend was going to be his new stepdad. And then
he got a stepdad for a minute.
And he loved his stepdad. Remember? He was close with Shane.
He was.
He was real close with Shane. So,
well, I think he was close with Shane because Shane and Rick were best friends.
Yeah.
So he was probably used to seeing Shane a lot.
Right.
Then he lost his mother in a prison. So he's been through a lot.
True. All right. And then number 1, stupid fucking Negan. I hated the whole who will die campaign. Oh yeah, when they did it for the longest time, like commercials or trailers, and they would show Negan's bad. I think mini or who.
Oh, who. I loved it.
I did not like it.
I loved it. I mean, that was a good time to go into an office
or
to go to work.
The face cards, yeah, like boom, boom.
Because that's all everyone was talking about.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's how I feel about Game of Thrones. When Game of Thrones was out. And you worked worked out in the field or wherever you worked. If you got to talk to other people that watched it, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but that's how the Any Mini Miny Mo was. Mm-hmm. Y'all remember we started seeing the shirts?
Yep.
Great times.
And that's everyone started dressing up as Negan. We went to like Walker StarkerCon. I feel like that same year or around that same time, so many people dressed up as Negan.
And we went to what else did we go to? That people were dressed up like Negan.
Probably Dragon Con.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it. And then she said, finally, I'm going to throw out some names. T-Dog, Tyrese, Jesus, Dale, Enid, Deanna, Bob, Noah, Heath, Trash Heap Girl. I'm going to have to stop you there. Are you talking about Jadis?
What did she say?
She said Jadis? Trash Heap Girl. I don't know if these are her. Because based on this list, I can't tell if these are the people you like the most or the people you hate. Because the list is confusing. There's no logic to it. T-Dog and Tyrese, okay. But then we have Jesus, Dale, Enid, but then Deanna, Bob, and Noah. No, this must be her I like them list. Okay. But then that's why I'm confused why Jadis
I knew what you was getting at. You did all that just to say you don't like Jadis.
Jadis is like right underneath, is like Alpha, and then Jadis, her annoying ass voice too. However she was talking, we don't bother. Like, shut the fuck up. And then to turn out she was a school teacher or some shit, and you was doing this?
Yeah.
Come on.
I can actually understand it. You're a school teacher, you had to speak. She probably taught English. She was like, man, fuck English. It's a Walkng Dead now.
I don't know. It was worse.
I'm going to talk how I want to talk.
There's an episode of, I probably said it before, of The Office where, what's his name? Kevin was like, not talking. He was like, why say many words when few words do trick? That's what Jadis was up to. All right. And she goes, thinking about Alpha and what Negan had to do just randomly made me crack up. Yeah, Negan has been redeemed if we think about it. He took one for the team with Alpha. And then she said, I'll be tuning in for House of Dragon. I totally watched it and worked really hard not to run off and read the book that it's based on. So I enjoyed not knowing what was next. Yeah.
Okay.
We can't wait to start House of Dragon probably in the next 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, the House of Dragon was good.
Very good. Very good. Thank you so much, Tiffany.
Thanks, Tiff.
We appreciate it. Thank you, Ra, Chantel, and Tiffany.
Yes,
Thank you all for sending your top fives. It was very, very interesting because we all sort of had some similar, but then also some different ones. So
yeah,
and ones that we didn't think of. So
right.
Hopefully you all enjoyed this episode, and we're gonna do one more next week. We'll pod probably on Tuesday again. And then it'll come out probably Wednesday or so by the time we finish.
Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday.
This one was supposed to come out Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, today is Wednesday.
But now today is Wednesday.
Yes. But it was so long.
Because the episode is long.
It's so long.
It's so long. We started last night and recorded about an hour and a half of the episode, and now we're finishing.
Oh, I think we recorded over 2 hours.
We recorded about 2 hours. It was a long pod, and we were too tired. So now we're finishing it today on Wednesday.
Right. Yeah.
And then I'll try to edit it tonight and then come out tomorrow.
So at a certain part, y'all might like, Gary and Nicole sound tired.
Yeah, we sound tired. Y'all sound different. The second half, y'all sound different than you did first half. Who knows? The vibe,
Then you gonna hear us pick back up.
Yeah.
We ready. We partied again.
We're like, we gotta keep our energy up. So let's just finish it tomorrow. So yeah, we'll be back with our what ifs. So give it to us. I'm not gonna put a number on it. 1, 2, 3, however many you want. Just send us your what ifs or what you think would have changed. Like something big. Like if this person didn't come, what would have changed? Like even an example of if Rick never met Morgan, what would have changed?
If Rick would have never woke up in the hospital.
Oh my gosh. If Rick never woke in the hospital, but a whole different show. If he just never woke up.
Or would it?
Shane would be right now.
Yeah, Shane would be. And we would still have Judith.
Yeah. No, shut up.
We still had a restaurant cast.
I was like, how will we have Judith? But you're wrong for that one.
Yeah, we still have everyone else.
Oh, gosh. All right, you guys, dead@theverdictsin.com, or you can send it to us on Twitter, Facebook, wherever you listen to us or want to send stuff in. All right. I'm Nicole.
I'm Gary.
Bye.